Maybe it's not gonna be okay. You got yourself killed, but you have been given a second chance. We call him nanites. He will heal you instantly.
I'm gonna find the man who murdered my wife.
They'll come for you. Revenge makes a man like you exceptional.
Hello everybody and welcome to NSE Week 4, where we are going to be kicking off the day with a fantastic lineup of Warwick A versus Brighton Babes. I'm here today casting, my name is Killsync, and with me is Aaron. How are you today, Aaron? Yeah, pretty good. I'm excited to see the level of gameplay that we head straight into with Game 1. What about yourself? Do you think Warwick A is going to be coming out on top, or do you think it's going to be Brighton Babes today taking the victory?
I'm confident Warwick's going to win. I'm completely honest with you, but I think it'll still be a good game if we get on form Brighton, which we haven't seen too much this season, but I'm confident they can bring us a good game.
Yeah, and do you think we're going to be seeing a 5-game series in our first match of the day, or do you reckon it's going to be quite one-sided by any one of these teams?
Like I said, I think it'll be one-sided. To be perfectly honest, they have a unique style of play. One would say, classic sitting defense and then just launch on their opponent. It'll be fun to see how Brighton counter.
Yeah, and I think seeing some of the link-up plays that we've seen in the past between Ferrell and especially Wards, I think we could be seeing some really dangerous play from the teams. But we have got everybody in the lobby, and I think if we're good with you, I think we're good my end as well, and we can get straight into seeing game one.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Team slowly making the way in. Wards is ready though. One-man team.
At least he thinks he can carry the entire team by himself.
I mean, the way his ego goes sometimes. Wouldn't surprise me. Bit of a slow start here. Alice playing it nice ball up to Walden though.
Yeah, this is definitely slower than I think both teams would want it to be. We see Alice coming out in the defence. Hazard just looking to pop his centre. Ferrell with the shot already, and Gopher coming in with the early save. Warden just looking to take it up, passing it centre, and Gopher with a massive challenge there. Hazard forced back on defence. Warden trying to challenge him, does so, and Ferrell just looking to clear it away from his backboard and just take away a little bit of that pressure that Brighton are putting on early.
Yeah, Hazard trying to get the ball out of defence, but gets straight back onto goal as Gopher. I noticed there's been a few whiffs or lacklustre balls early in, and Gopher taking his chance in that counter attack.
Yeah, and Ward's not quite quick enough on the rotation back there into goal, leaves himself short, and nobody there really to defend the goal. Gopher managing to pull his car more than the 93, flicking backwards, popping it straight into what is an open goal. Ward's looking to take it down early to try and make up for that first early goal. No one really in the centre for him to pass to. Ward's with a great 50 there, trying to pop it back into centre. Hazard up early, managing to get the challenge, and Ferrell will be following, looking to put it centre, but nobody's there on the follow. Ward's opting to go for mid-boost on the left instead of following up the ball, and you wonder if he'd been following there, if he could have had an early chance, but a great 50, and Warden just clearing the lines there.
A little drop off from Hazard to Ferrell there. That's what you want to see a tiny bit more, but it's played out by Walden. Keeping the pressure on him by Alice, kind of doing that ball chase, but Ferrell straight on the counter attack. It's bumped by Walden though.
And a nice bump from Walden there. Really stops the play coming through from Ferrell. Hazard not quite getting the clear he'd want to get. Alice just trying to pop it through to a pass. We're seeing Walden commit there. Ferrell popping it high onto the backboard. No one really defending. Gopher left in goal on his own. And we see Ferrell with a nice read off of the backboard there, popping it straight into what is an open goal.
Both goals coming from just kind of pathetic defending, if I do say so. Knocking it, trying to knock it off the sidewall, but straight back into the middle to a ready Ferrell who's going to be on that any time of day.
Yeah, and like you say at the moment, defending really lackluster, not really there from either team. Gopher left in goal by himself. The first goal coming through from Warwick. Ward's not really looking to defend, Hazard not really looking to defend, and it looks like this is really going to sum up game one. And again, we're seeing Ferrell trying to challenge, looking to put it centre and not managing to make any contact. Warden looking to make the clear, passing it centre, trying to look for Alice. Alice trying to get the dunk on Hazard, and able to do so. Ferrell looking to take it out. Both players missing. Ward's on the follow-up. Alice popping it left, and Ferrell will get the clear.
Both teams just opting for these solo plays. It's not a lot. Maybe double commits and whiffing of the ball, but no, neither team's trying to pass. Trying to connect some plays together, just forcing themselves at the ball and hoping it'll work in their favour.
Yeah, and this is definitely some of the problems we've seen with some of the NSE teams so far. We're seeing a lot of just wasted opportunities from both teams. Wardley here popping it middle, and again, not really to anybody. Warden trying to make something of the play, but we really feel like for either team to really dominate in these performances, they're going to have to try and look for the other teammates just that little bit more, because at the moment it's just not happening.
I see a lot of trying to just beat the other player to the ball rather than thinking about where the ball's going to go. Double commit almost works out in Brighton's favour. Alice managed to get out straight back to Hazard though. Trying to keep it in the middle. Go for easy with a clear.
Yeah, and that was unfortunate there. And a miss from Wards. Huge, leaving Gopher coming through to an open net. And again, we're seeing another solo goal. Not one goal here has been assisted. And it just leaves a lot to be admired from both of these teams. They play at such high levels usually. And we're seeing just a really out of character miss there from Wards, just making no contact whatsoever. Gopher with the knowledge to follow up, trusting that Wards is gonna miss, and he just puts it into an open goal. Nobody on defense there for Brighton. Everybody assuming that Wards has the clear, doesn't, and we're seeing a 2-1 game, 1 minute 30 left. Can Brighton pull this one back?
It's like keeping the pressure on the Warwick defense, trying to get these demos in as Wardley goes for a flip reset, but doesn't quite manage to get all 4 wheels onto the ball. Farrell doesn't go for the pass. Another attempt at a solo play. Should be easy for Alice, but he puts it straight up onto his own goal. Wardley has a bit of time on the ball. Again, opts for a shot. Just constantly giving away possession when they don't have to.
Yeah, and we're seeing very, very low boost coming through from Hazard there. Really risky play pushing that far up with no boost. Does opt to take the opposition's corner boost. But again, we're just not seeing any passing plays come along. It's just every man for himself. We see Hazard there double committing with Ferrell in the same corner that Wards was already in for that initial challenge. There's just nobody there to pass to.
Stream? Yeah, I don't know if you've got it up in the background or you're not muted.
No, I've sorted that one. That was just an error in the settings part. But I've changed
That's
that.
fine. I've had a few people messaging me. But yeah, just again, so many lapses in defence causing goals for the other team. There's not much. They haven't had to work for their goals. Just constant back and forth play.
Yeah, definitely. We are seeing a 2-2 game. However, it could easily be 0-0. Neither team really putting on much of an offensive display. Neither team putting on a defensive display. And just as I say that, Gopher again with the solo play here, looking to just small head dribble, flicking it over to the left-hand side, hitting the inner post. Unfortunately, defense not able to clear it. Ward's not expecting it to hit that post, expecting it to go out, not quite making contact, and it's just bounced straight in. And all 3 goals so far from Warwick have come from Gopher on solo plays. And we just really need to see more in terms of just team chemistry so far, because this is just overall a disappointing performance in the first game from both teams.
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying, neither team has really deserved it apart from that solo attempt by Gopher, but neither teams are looking like this could just be a game of ranked as Warden gets a shot and goal, but simple save by Wardley. Farrell tries to keep the ball up.
And I think that's one of the first times in the game that we've seen Brighton actually look to make a pass, and that was Farrell just trying to keep the ball up there. It wasn't really an attempt to continue play, to make any sort of pass from it. It was more just, can we keep the ball up long enough to score the 3rd goal, to try and take that into overtime, and they just can't do it. And so far, if both of these teams keep playing the way they're playing, Warwick really are individually outplaying the individuals in Brighton. And if they continue to do so, it really just feels like 3 individual 1v1s in this match.
Yeah, you can really see Gopher deserving that MVP as he... I mean, you want to say he worked for his goals. The last one he did, but realistically, he's just been the one who's been on the ball the most. Like, he wants to be in that area to create a play, but neither side has really worked to create a team environment, or at least get a simple infield pass or something like that. It's just constant aggression towards hitting the ball at the goal or trying to whack the ball out of defense with no real purpose.
It's very much come down to who is the more accurate team in this first game, and unfortunately for Brighton, Warwick have proved to be the more accurate. Gopher 3 goals, 3 saves, really showing that individually he is currently outperforming everybody else on the field. And if we don't see a change from both teams, we're going to be seeing some really poor Rocket League, to be honest. I mean, both teams are capable of playing at such a higher level than this, and so far they're just not showing us that.
Nice fast pace Farrell on the kickoff, almost as if he heard what we said at the start of the last game, but what a simple plays. Hazard tries to get the double, but Alice Red double. Just not able to counteract as both teams whiffing the ball when you think that they're going to hit it.
Ward's with a bit of a poor clear there, trying to hit it up wide, doesn't. Finds a Warwick player in the mid. Warden putting it onto the backboard. Alice not able to put the shot on target. Ward's getting the clear out, and now they're going to be in a risk. Now they're going to be facing a 2v2, but unfortunately for Brighton, not able to beat out that Warwick defence. And this just goes to show, as we were saying beforehand, that at the moment Warwick are looking individually like the better players. And as we're seeing Alice just take a nice 50, and we're seeing Ferrell with a misplay there, opting for the 50 in his own half right next to his goal, not going his way. Hazard missing the challenge in the mid area, and we're seeing Ferrell jump. He's going to look to put it off the backboard and get a double touch, doesn't quite manage it. Hazard with the follow-up and not able to get that on target, and they really need to be making more of the opportunities that they're being given.
Oh, and an open goal, but it just swings wide. You can kind of see, like, you expect Wardley and Ferrell to be the enablers of the teams, but it's Hazard and Gopher of respective sides that are actually making the plays happen, because the back two, just as I'm saying that Wardley gets an individual play, but as I was saying, it's just they're enabling their team to be in that active position, with Alice and Walden letting Gopher be a bit more ball chasey, and Wardley and Ferrell allowing Hazard to be that ball chasing output, but it's not working.
No,
apart from Wardley coming in with
it's really not, but Wardley does come in with an absolutely incredible solo goal, and the speed at which he moves there, he's really tried to make up for that last game there, and that's not a great pop, but it's worked, and the side flip's worked as well. Walden just managing to clear it with his own post there, but that really looked like a great opportunity for Brighton to go 2-0 up. We're seeing Walden try to come with a counter-attack, but he's left with 0 boost. He's going to be forced to rotate back now, and they're going to be left with 2 players on the attack.
Oh, I was just about to say, they haven't taken advantage of it. There was such a waste of a pop here, but it's worked in Alice's favour. Wardley read this all day, he just wasn't quick enough to get up.
Yeah, and
Nice
Wardley not quite as quick as he was up to score his goal at the other end. A little bit slow there, not quite reading it in the correct position. It's so difficult to read from there. Alice has every opportunity to either put it onto the backfield, pop it just up, take a straight shot, opts for the backboard, does a lovely read, pops it straight into an unsavable position, and we see the game going to 1-1, 2 minutes 48 seconds left.
A few double commits coming out from Brighton here, as well as trying to get back into the play. Gopher's got a dribble going on, takes it past Ferrell. Was in a position to get a shot. Try to get back into the play.
And Ward's with a nice clear there, just able to take the pressure away from his team. Just long enough for Ferrell to get back onto that defence to make sure that if a shot does come through, it's not as damaging as it could be. And Alice looking to pop it onto the sidewall, into the corner. Ferrell again opting for a 50 in his own area, and that's 2 for 2 that he's lost now in that area. And it's a real big risk playing against a team like Warwick and opting for 50s in your own half. They really need to just be clearing the ball, and he doesn't do so. Walden looking to take the shot. Ferrell fortunately managing to get the block on there. And again, we're seeing a few misplays on defense from Ferrell, which is really unlike him. He's such a great player. Not often will he make mistakes like this, and we just hope that mentally both teams are really looking to reset going into the latter half of this game, because it's just really, again, we've started to show what we were showing in the first game. Both teams looking to play individually, both teams not really looking for many passes, and the game was looking so much better when both teams were opting for those team plays at the start of this game, but we just feel like we've reverted back to what we were seeing beforehand.
Yeah, just as you were saying, Ferrell opting for these 50s in defence against a team that has Alice, the Cat Whisperer, and Walden, both people who are very good ones players. You don't want to be putting yourself in a position, or your team in a position, where you're not too sure where the ball's going to go.
Yeah, definitely. And Hazard with a great 50 there. Ward's not quite level-footed there, making a bit of a mishap. Ferrell happy to clear it wide, and this is where we're going to see some problems. Ferrell with the shot, Walden with a fantastic save there, just coming through for his defense. If he doesn't make that, that is a definite goal. Nobody else in defense there willing to make that challenge as last man, and it's such a risk, but he knows his own abilities and he's able to do it. And Ferrell again trying the solo play to clear it, and he's not able to do so. Do we feel like maybe mentally he's a little bit not there in this game so far?
It's hard to say. I mean, it all comes down to how they are in comms, and from what's going on outside of the games. But I just think Ferrell's got to a point where the ball isn't going in his favour, so he's trying to throw himself at it more. And Hazard touches it straight down to Walden. But you could see Ferrell trying to read the ball afterwards. He's just constantly throwing himself at the ball with no real commitment.
Yeah, and this is one of the biggest problems we said Ferrell was having at the start, and now Hazard has gone to do it. We said they need to just start clearing their lines. They're really being put under pressure by this Warwick team, and instead of clearing, they're opting for 50s in their own half, and it's really causing them some problems. And as we just saw from there, Hazard, instead of looking to just clear the ball, looks to try and take just a small touch to gain control. Instead of gaining control, pops it straight to the opposition team for what is an incredibly easy shot. This ball well out of the reach of the Brighton team, and we're seeing Warwick go 2-0 up very early on in this series.
Yeah, you can see in the attack, Brighton, apart from being able to air dribble it or maybe go for a double touch, don't have anything in the bag to catch Warwick out. Like I was saying at the end of the last game, maybe go for an infield pass, or at least even just any sort of pass that will catch them out, but they're just constantly trying to dribble it at them, and it's just not working out for them.
Yeah, it's really not.
In defence as well, with so many. The Warwick's goals haven't come from insane plays; they've just come from catching out this Brighton defence.
Yeah, definitely. And as it stands, Walden with, I think what was the easy shot, was it Alice there? But even so, Hazard with a really bad misplay on defence, and that is such a critical time to be making proper decisions with your teammates. Communication is key in situations like that. I don't think in comms anybody would have asked him to have done something like that. Ferrell not ready for the defence there. Wards had just committed himself, leaving only Hazard in that goal. As we say, opting just to push it forward, and 16 seconds left in a game, you really can't be giving possession away that easily in your own half.
Yeah. I mean, especially in a 1-1 scenario where it's still anyone's game. If you're just trying to, I don't know, they're trying to be unique or try to impress, try to get the best kind of player, but it's just not working in their favour. It just needs something simple rather than for a fancy outplay.
Yeah, it really does. And again, we're seeing Walden with the 50 on Wards. Wards trying to challenge there. Ferrell looking to pop it up, and Wards will look to redirect that. Doesn't really make much of a great touch, and I think
dead server.
I think our server has just died, unfortunately, so we are going to look at resetting this one back up. Sorry about that, guys. But maybe this is the little bit of time that both teams really needed to reset, have a bit more time in comms, really speak about what they're going to do, because this is really anyone's game. Neither team are playing to the caliber we know they're capable of playing to. And if they don't start improving, if they don't start showing us why they are the top teams in NSE, we're going to start questioning whether or not they can hold those top spots each week.
Yeah, you can really see the distinct level in skill. Both teams have come to try play their own game, but they've just ended up playing off the other team. You can see Warwick trying to keep up with Brighton's, because Brighton are really dictating the pace, but Warwick are trying to keep up with it and creating double commits. But where those double commits are coming out are really off-putting for Brighton, so it's leaving them in really tough positions to hold their defensive line, where maybe a big clear, or if Hazard is going to take a touch like that, he needs to be confident in his ability.
Yeah, definitely. And as it stands, I think Brighton have every opportunity to pull back this game. Now, as it stands, Warwick 2-0 up. The pressure really is on Brighton. Can they pull off the reverse sweep? I'm not as confident. But do I think they can pull back a game, maybe two? I think so, and I think that'll be all that Warwick need to really take a step back and say, right, we need to start playing how people know we can play. We need to start playing how we know we can play. And we need to start passing more. We need to get some of those infield passes going. We haven't seen a single infield pass this game, even attempted, I don't think. None of them are even being cut out. I think the first infield pass we saw was actually from Hazard to the opposition. And that's worrying. From teams of this caliber, that is really worrying, because these are the kind of plays that will pull apart your opposition, and they're just not being made. We're seeing no passes coming through from the side, no passes coming through from the ceiling, no passes coming through from the backfield, and frankly, nobody really prepared to receive the passes, even if they were coming through.
You just can't tell whether they want to play out of defence slowly or they want to try clang the ball, but they're just not doing what they want to do, or whether they are doing what they want to do and it's just not working. Both teams looking really, really uncomfortable, to say the least.
Yeah, and I think it really goes to show Warwick's prowess as well, with the fact that they're just not allowing Ferrell any time on that ball whatsoever. They are not risking him being able to set up any kind of play. The minute he tries getting that ball under any kind of control, he is immediately shut down by every single player, and they're just not going to allow him to make any sorts of plays, and Brighton haven't figured out a way to really deal with that yet.
But just like with Hazard had so much time on the ball, and the first thing he thinks, you know what, I'm going to clang it straight down the middle back to the other team. And they're the moments they need to stop and think, what are we doing with this ball? How can we find a play to help our teammate get back into it? Instead of just relying on lucky 50s or the backball players, it goes wide again. It's Hazard committing, Ferrell's up.
Ferrell is up, and Alice with a great read there, really shutting down the play. Ferrell had the perfect read. He really was going to get it, and that's a great redirect there from Ward. Not able to put it in goal, unfortunately. A keeper there, ready for the save. Warden with the 50 in the midfield. Ward's trying to drop it down. Alice ready again. And just Warden and Alice prepared to clear the lines there. Ferrell with a great turn. Looking to go for a flip reset here. Doesn't quite manage to pull it off. And Hazard with the challenge. And again, Warwick defence just holding up. Just not allowing any real risky shots through there. And we are really seeing, I think, the better team winning the series so far.
It's just starting to look very scrappy, where these teams have tried to think, how can we keep possession on the ball? Let's just start driving faster and hitting the ball away. Instead of, both teams couldn't take time in defence, but instead they just boomed it straight back to the other opposing side. It's giving away possession.
Definitely, and Ferrell there with a great touch off the ceiling and a great dunk coming out from Hazard. Ferrell with the ceiling, pass over to Hazard. Hazard looking to get the shot, doesn't get quite a strong shot, using his boost just to try and get the dunk there on, I think it was Gopher, and managing to do so incredibly. And we're seeing the game go to 1-0, and it's what we spoke about right at the very start, about how they needed to try and get some sort of passing play through, whether that was from the ceiling, whether it was infield, whether it was from the back. And they've just managed to do so, and as we saw, it just breaks down teams. They're just not prepared for it.
It's just whether we see now how Warwick deal with the kind of a unfortunate turn of events, whether they're going to be able to hold their own or more goals are going to be scored from the Brighton side as Warwick try to get a goal back, throw players forwards.
Definitely, and Ferrell there chasing the demo, not quite getting it, opting to go for the corner boost instead. And we're going to see Alice 50 in both Ferrell and Ward's. Hazard going for his own back boost. Gopher with a touch into the midfield, and it's a bit of a wasted touch really. Warden with the backflip, knowing full well he's not going to be able to get that ball, does opt to just back out the challenge there. And here we're going to see another risky play. Gopher hitting it straight up, and he might have an open goal here. Puts it high. Alice also putting it high. No one able to get it on target from that Warwick team, and they really need to be making more out of these opportunities.
Just hammering the backboard. Brighton are kind of using up all their lucky stars at the moment. As Gopher tries to read this ball, just holds down his accelerator too long. Wardley's in a 1v1 right now, and he takes it past Walden. He just absolutely mugs off the 1v1 man, and Wardley's going to be really happy with this player.
Yeah, and Wardley here looking almost like he's lost control of the ball, and I think even Warwick there had thought he'd lost control of the ball. Walden not quite challenging quickly enough, assuming he's got the time. Wardley saying, no you don't, I'm going to be there and I'm going to get it. And he's making up for his mistakes that he's made in the first game. And they're really starting to show a bit more dominance now. But still, do we think that this Brighton team has the capability to pull back a reverse sweep against this Warwick team?
It's kind of hard to say now, but even just looking at Ferrell, as he doesn't, like, as I've been saying, opting to take time in defence, instead he just clangs it straight back down the line. I don't know if that's their play style, that's how they feel comfortable, but I'd like to see him take a touch and just take the ball down and have some kind of confidence in their play.
Yeah, definitely, and it does beg the question whether or not Ferrell's feeling a little bit mentally in a challenge there, just because obviously he'd done so much 50ing in his own half in the first 2 games that just were not going his way, that maybe now he's just opted not to take control of the ball, just clear it out and hope to make plays off of the long clear and just try and challenge them in their own area as opposed to now trying to fight in their area. And we're seeing Alice with a great pass to Walden, flicking it high, Ferrell with a very easy clear up. A demo comes out on the Warrior team. We're seeing a double commit, and this is really risky because both teams are going to be trying to fight to get back. But as we were talking about earlier, the ball is just cleared for no reason. Walden, given all the time in the world there to take a shot, puts it straight in the centre of the goal where it's really not much of a challenge for Hazard. And Hazard coming out with a save. 10 seconds left, 2-0. I don't think it's being brought back now.
Yeah, it takes a miracle right now as Ferrell has so much time, but again, just stuff like that. I mean, yeah, there's not much time left, but he's not the Ferrell that we expect to see on the ball. We want to see Ferrell take apart the other team, not just take a touch and give it straight back. He looks like he's out of place.
Yeah, and I think we talk about Ferrell so much because we just know what he's capable of. We know that he's one of the best players we have in the NSE. We know the kind of passing plays he can make. We know the shots he can take. And at the moment, he's really not showing us that he is the best on this Brighton team. The entire team has looked on equal footing, and that's not to say equally fantastic. They're all just equally playing good. There have been no real standout players this game. Gopher coming through in game 1 as the standout player, but other than that, we haven't really seen anybody showing any real form of dominance. Wardley putting in a lot more effort than he was in the first 2 games. Second game arguably had a great shot, so we can't take any credit away from him there.
Look at those saves on the Warwick side, though. It's just looking then, and you can see Wardley, who got the MVP, he's not even got the most points in the game. Walden has put in a shift to try and keep that ball and have shots as well. It's just not worked in Warwick's favour, so we kind of think, how are Brighton going to hold off against a Warwick team that are going to come out this game?
Yeah, and I think Brighton, if they're going to be taking this series, they've got to look at taking some of the defence from Warwick out of the game completely, and we see it from some of the other teams in NSE, notably Nottingham Trent coming through. Players like Instinct looking for demos, seeking out players in that midfield, and a great shot coming through early on in the game. Go for the great save. But as we were saying, they really need to start hammering the defence. They need to start putting pressure on the players that are in the backfield, and they need to stop just allowing them time to challenge.
It's just not even just like, I mean, yeah, demos. We haven't seen any tactical demos or even any demos really during the game. Just even, it doesn't have to be a demo. Take a touch, take it past one of them, take it over one, and try find a pass. Like, there's no abuse of trying to get that first man out of the play. It's just constantly bombarding the goal, and you could see Ferrell, even with his shots, he's taking a touch and he just wants it away from his car as soon as he has the ball. And it's not how we expect him to be playing.
Yeah, definitely. And we're seeing Hazard use an awful lot of boost on that commit there. Really not worthwhile. Does manage to make it back in time there. Wardley looking to get a long clear down, and he's just cleared it right into the path for Warwick player. Hazard, great 50 there. And for the first time, I think we saw Hazard just then chasing down a man, really trying to take off some of that defensive ease that Warwick have at the moment. They're really not struggling on the defense. They really look quite comfortable. And we see a great pass out there, and we're going to see Gopher cutting in. Ferrell just cutting out that play there, making sure the pass doesn't go through, and double miss there. And he is going to opt to take it infield, and he's going to look to try and 50 both players. Doesn't manage it. Walden with a great 50, taking it far and wide. And we're just not really seeing any team dominate here.
Oh, what a shot by Walden. I was just about to say, the only reason that Warwick are losing this game, or lost the last game, was because they couldn't score. And then Walden pulls that out. Like, their defence is so much better than what Brighton have had. They look so much calmer, and just that finishing and conversion in attack makes it so much easier.
Yeah, definitely. And Ferrell looking a little bit hesitant to go up there, knowing he's the last man back. Didn't really want to commit that early. And Walden we have to give credit to him there. That was absolutely fantastic aerial control, and he's probably going to do it again. It's going to be hard to read for Hazard. Does manage to do so. But like we were saying there with Warden, great aerial car control. Just hitting that first shot, staying up, doesn't come down to the ground at all, using all of his boost just to get that touch off of the backboard, and it is just fantastic. Ferrell a little bit slow to commit. We might want to see him playing a little bit faster in later series, but for the time being, Warwick are leading 1-0. They are 2-1 up in series. We could be seeing a 3-1 going the way of Warwick in the first match of the day.
Yeah, Warwick are really going to have to choke here to concede against this Brighton team. They just don't look like they want it at all. They're just throwing men at the ball as it goes past the defence, but Hazard can't quite get the conversion. Again, committing forward, but not being able to get that goal that they also never need.
Yeah, and that was really scrappy play from both teams there, on the offense and on the defense. You really expect to see better. Warden going for a dunk, not quite managing to put it on target. Alice going for the 50 there. Hazard opting for what might be one of the first times in this match from Brighton for a pass upfield. Not quite managing to find Wards. Wards looking to put it back down to Ferrell. Ferrell having a bit of boost to play with. He's going to look to take it inside. He doesn't manage it. Go for a great read there, coming in to bail out Alice. Alice not the greatest clear, and Wards with a great dunk, and again Warden there just to bail out his team.
I don't know if either of these teams have had a maths test today, but they both look like they've exercised all their brain power, and just none of them look like they want to be up for the ball. It looks like they're thinking 5 steps ahead rather than they just need to be thinking how they can find their team to bring out the best, because other than that, they're just looking at the ball for 5 seconds before they even start aerial.
Yeah, this is definitely slow, and Wards with a massive misplay there. Jumping up a little bit too early. Alice seeing he does not have the ball. Alice then opting to jump afterwards and putting it into what is an open goal. Anywhere in that goal Alice can aim for, and it's going in. Wards not quite the jump, not quite the prediction he's going to have wanted. And we're seeing a 2-0 game in what is probably the last game of the series. Ferrell not being able to make contact there for the shot.
Neither teams have looked like they deserve the win, but Warwick have looked the most solid out of the best out of a bad bunch, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, defensively, Brighton just haven't really been there. Offensively, neither team has really been there. It's really one of these games where we're just seeing almost what feels like ranked level play. It doesn't feel like either team are actually playing like a team right now. It feels like 3 players on both teams chasing a ball.
Feels like a tennis match.
It really does at this point. Back forward, and Ward's looking to drop it into centre there, but again, no one really coming for the commit. Wardley trying to get the dunk, trying to keep this hope alive, and he's not going to do so. 5 seconds counting down. 3, 2, 1, and we're going to see Warwick taking the first match of the day quite comfortably, but still not the sort of gameplay we really expect to see from either team. We know they are so much. We know they have so much capability to play a lot better than what they're playing there, and they are just not showing us that at all. And we really expect to see a higher level of gameplay from teams like this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether it was both teams weren't warmed up or they just weren't feeling comfortable in their own ability, but just at the end of that game I saw Gofford opt to take the dribble out of defence, and I was just about to say that's what I wanted to see from Brighton, but then he proceeds to then lose the ball. It looks like it's going so well, so either way you can't say Warwick were miles better than Brighton. I just think they scored their chances and they had a better defence.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that game was more of a who was the more consistent good set of players. It didn't even feel like they were playing to the best of any of their abilities. We've seen Gopher play so much better. We've seen Alice play so much better. We've seen Wards. We've seen a couple of mistakes from Wards just today that we just don't expect to see from him, and they did cost a few goals, and it's just unfortunate, and hopefully both teams are able to mentally reset after that game, because neither looked really strong, and I think going in against some of the teams they're going to have to face today, they're really going to struggle if they don't start picking up their act. We know the capabilities they have, we know the team plays they can make, and they just were not making them in this game.
Yeah, just not the best day for either team.
So we are going to go for a short break whilst we wait for the next game. But just a few results from around the board. We see Nottingham Trent defeating Hertfordshire White 3-1. Now that's quite a surprise. Hertfordshire White having just come up into the National League, taking a game off of what is one of the strongest teams that we have in this National League. What do you think of that?
Sorry, who is that lost a game?
Nottingham Trent dropped one game to Hertfordshire White. They did win 3-1 overall.
I don't know who's on Hertfordshire White, so that's a hard thing. Do you know who's on Hertfordshire White?
Yeah, so Hertfordshire White have Huey, Friday, and I'm not sure on who their third is, but obviously...
Yeah, I that has got to be maybe they're memeing about or something. I mean, it's... I want to say Hertfordshire White gave them a good game, and I imagine they did, but I feel like Nottingham Trent probably maybe underestimated.
I think it's Hades.
Thanks.
Oh, Hades
is a very good player, actually.
Hades is a good player, and actually, I can't speak for Huey, but I've seen and played alongside Friday, and Friday is also a very, very strong player. Not quite high in the MMR rankings as some of the other players, especially the Nottingham Trent players, but Nottingham Trent coming out with that 3-1 win. Portsmouth Paladins, again, against Sheffield Hallam, another newly promoted team, only winning 3-1. And again, dropping a game in what most people, I think, would have expected to be a 3-0 sweep. And it does beg the question, McLovin and Astral, as a team, can they hold themselves in the National League? Are they capable of beating out
They should have been in the National League many seasons ago. It's like, I don't know whether it is the dismissal of Doppler or just the fact that they get along with their third a lot more, but McLovin should never be in the Regional League in the first place. So.
No, he is an exceptionally good player. And then one really notable score here. Rock Entiers, we saw them last week. Such an incredible team. Great team display. Loughborough Lions sweeping them 3-0. Not even giving them a chance in the game, clearly. But we know how strong Loughborough Lions are. Lou, Matt, TDB, all some fantastic players going in there. But
it's a coin toss. Loughborough Lions are literally a coin toss of whether they're going to sweep the week. You literally never know what you're going to get with them because TDB is a really good player. He just is so inconsistent. It's unreal. And Matt and Lou have clearly shown that they're capable of making finals. So I don't doubt that result. I imagine Kent should have taken a game or two, but I mean, for Loughborough to do that is just as impressive anyway.
And then moving on to Kiel and Salford, we see Kiel sweeping Salford Lions in what's quite a surprising result. We know Kiel's an extremely high-level team. We know Salford also a high-level team, and 3-0 sweep. We would have expected to have seen at least Salford Lions pulling back at least one, maybe two games there.
Kiel are very... Honestly, Kiel haven't been doing as well as they should have been doing. Like, Kiel, they're one of those teams that they need to merge first. They definitely are a team that could finish top 6. So, if they get a win against any of the teams, I don't doubt they played their best game. So,
yeah,
that's fair enough.
And then moving on to the final two games, we had Warwick A versus Brighton Bays, which we just saw 3-1. Not the greatest performance really from either team. Both we know have the potential to pull out better, and hopefully we see that going into further games. Warwick will be playing Portsmouth next, so they're really going to have to up their game if they stand any chance of kind of winning that, because the way we see Portsmouth play, they tend to be quite a consistent team week on week, and even though they did drop one game to Sheffield Hallam, would still expect to see quite a dominant performance from Portsmouth should Warwick play the way they were playing. And then the final result, Lancers A beating Newcastle 3-1.
Yeah, I stand by that result.
Yeah,
but they've finally broken the curse, haven't they? Because Tylaxa was saying how they could never beat Newcastle before.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I would have Lancaster to beat Newcastle on paper.
Yeah, like it was top of his list of things to moan about last season, that they kept getting up against the one team in National League that they couldn't beat, and if they just faced anyone else, they'd be top of the league. So
now they're faced them. We'll wait and see what Lancers can actually pull up. I mean, ever since...
Which is the next game on stream?
Next game is BCU versus UWEC Stacks, who have just beaten Sussex Hammerheads 3-1.
What was the BCU score?
BC. Oh wait, hold on. Actually, BCU haven't finished yet.
Okay.
like that. I thought they had, BCU versus Bournemouth. That match is still ongoing. I do not have a result for it.
So are we basing that game on whoever wins out of BCU and Bournemouth?
Well, yeah, I mean, it will be that game. We just
So
don't
we don't know
whether
who.
it'll be.
Okay. But you just
Yeah, it
assume
will be
BCU are
either
gonna
these.
win.
Yeah, I may have.
Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. We'll wait for that one. So it's basically BCU or Bournemouth versus UWE.
Yeah, because UWE have just beaten Sussex Hammerheads 3-1.
Ooh.
Okay, so while we are waiting for that, we are going to go to a short break. We should hopefully be back shortly, where we'll be seeing either BCU or Bournemouth facing off against UWE Sea Stags. Hello and welcome back to NSE Week 4, where our next matchup is going to be BCU Blue versus UWE Sea Stags. And we've seen both of these teams play before. BCU Blue on stream last week, and we saw UWE Sea Stags. For anyone who tunes into EURC, we saw them play yesterday twice, back-to-back, both extremely strong performances. And it's going to be a really great lineup. We saw UWE Sea Stags beating Sussex Hammerheads 3-1. And we saw BCU sweeping Bournemouth Storm 3-0. So it's going to be an absolutely incredible lineup for the second game that we have available for you. And Aaron, what do you think is going to happen here? Do you think we could see a sweep coming out from either team, or do you think this will be a lot closer than the last game was?
Oh, it's tough. I don't know. I feel like this game is going to be based on momentum. So the team that will win the first game will win the series. I want to say a sweep. I don't want to call it. So I'm not. I feel like BCU are going to win, and I think it could be 3-0.
Yeah, I definitely feel like BCU have the opportunity to win here. I don't see any reason why they can't, and I just think it's going to be a really interesting game overall. We're going to see some absolutely class play, and I think this is just really the kind of game that we're going to need after seeing that last game. Like we said, neither team really performing to the best of their abilities this time. We've got the opportunity for both teams to be performing well. I think we've got everybody in, so we can...
I'm ridiculously quiet just before we... But that's what Scenario said. Anywho.
Who's ridiculously quiet? Yourself?
Me, yeah.
Right, let's just pop you up a little bit.
We'll do a shoutcast. So we've just got the kickoff going in. Rottweiler comes out on top. Magic throws himself at the ball. And we see the game now.
Yes, we're seeing Incognito with the early challenge. Tom coming through with a great save on defense there. Sebadam looking to follow in early. Trying to pop it into the left-hand side. Not able to do so. And a bad pass mid. Just misses Incognito there. Good challenge from Sebadam. Popping it high. Rottweiler there already. Dropping it down. Is Magic probably going to look to pass it back. And this is the play we were missing last game. That pass back right there from Sebadam, just showing what the difference is going to be in this game compared to our last.
Yeah, so much faster paced as Sebadam makes the read that we might not have seen last game. Nice touch from Rottweiler, who's opting to go solo. Pulls Incognito, who comes out on top in the challenge.
Just trying to drop it down for Jordan there, not managing to do so successfully. And Tom is going to be left with quite a good pass through to centre. Incognito coming through before any harm can be done there. Rottweiler coming to take it, looking to pop it off over to the side. Incognito there to cut it down. Jordan, not the greatest shot there. Sebadam looking to take a little bit more control. 50 in it happily with Tom. Magic just clearing it off the backboard, and Jordan will try and challenge him. Challenge going the way of Magic. Sebadam passed it over to Jordan. Jordan almost getting the contact there for the shot, and we could have seen an early opportunity there.
It's a lot of, again, back and forth like the last game, but this is a lot more cleaner in terms of actually keeping possession between the teams. Rottweiler almost putting it into his own goal. This is a big open shot for Incognito, who gets saved by Magic. Kind of a routine save in the end.
Yeah, Magic not really troubled with that save, and as we say that, a misplay off of the side there. I think it's Tom Magic, not quite able to get any sort of hit. Rottweiler missing as well. Sebadam coming in, making sure he's following in, puts it right into the right-hand side of the goal. And we're seeing an early lead going the way of UWE Sea Stags.
Yeah, deserving it really. Both teams look like they've come for a game, but UWE looking like they're getting the most opportunities so far.
Definitely, and the calm collectiveness from Sebadam there, knowing when to put it out, when to pass back, is really setting aside the differences here at the moment between BCU and UWE Sea Stags. As we see Rottweiler challenging Jordan there in the corner, and we're seeing Magic going up early, and it's great. It looks like it could be a great double touch. Gets a fantastic 50. Versace Tom following up, not able to put it on target. And we're seeing Jordan happily clearing it out, but that was the best opportunity we've seen from BCU Blue so far, and it was incredible play there from Magic.
Yeah, coming out from Magic, who on paper isn't BCU's strongest player, but he clearly looks like he he wants to show his worth here, trying to play his teammates. And as Jordan goes up for a double touch, good read by Versace Tom.
And Tom again with the flip there, just managing with 0 boost to get it past Incognito. Incognito trying to pass it in center for Sebadam. And a bump coming through from Magic onto Tom really makes it a bit of a risky play there for Rottweiler. Able to clear it off his backboard, and Tom looking to clear it downfield, hoping to relieve some of that pressure that they've been dealing with so far. A great pass center coming through from Magic. Magic not able to put it on target. Rottweiler with a great turn, and Jordan with a great 50 just to try and clear their lines.
Yeah, just as we were complimenting Magic, he kind of creates a bit of a scenario where he could have scored, and we could be complimenting even more. Versace Tom gets a double touch, just takes it the whole length of the field, and really, this whole play was him. There was no... Just... UWE kind of caught with their pants pulled down around the waist.
Yeah, definitely.
Around the legs. Around whatever. Anything.
Definitely. And we see UWE Sea Stags not opting to challenge early there, leaving Tom to go for that double touch. And Tom having all the time in the world, we expect players of this caliber to be able to score double touches quite consistently. Tom being left every hour of every day to take the shot on, and he does so, and he just shows why both of these teams are going to be a force to be reckoned with if they're left uncontested, unchallenged in those midfield areas. And a bad double commit there comes the way of UWE Sea Stags. BCU Blue not able to capitalise. Sebadam looking to drop it down onto Incognito. Not the best decision made there. And we're going to see a bit of a struggle on UWE Sea Stag side. Incognito, a great 50 just to take it away from the opposition there. Incognito looking to get another 50. And here's where we're going to see some risk coming through. Double commit on the UWE Sea Stag side. And Jordan's looking to get the clear.
Yeah, you can really see the offence is definitely the strongest point of both teams. And when it comes to having to defend, they're not really that comfortable in situations where Incognito just missing the ball. So we're kind of seeing the fast pace coming out in attack, but maybe trying to slow it down a bit in defence, and it's not working out for them.
Yeah, not really sure what happened there with Magic getting a 450, a demo coming through, so quite difficult to see. Sebadam looking to play it high, Tom already waiting there, knowing where he's going to play it, and Tom with a really bad pass through there. Sebadam going for the demo, but no one on the follow-up. And Sebadam and Incognito with a double commit again. Jordan trying to get the pass in. Versace Tom coming to clear it out.
Oh, and he's in a one-on-one here. And he gets a shot, and Sebadam giving him the time, giving him so much time. He could have gone to the shop, could have got some tea, put it on the stove, had a little bit of a read of the newspaper in the time he had to go for that. He finds the shot.
Yeah, and Sebadam, knowing full well what Tom was capable of earlier in this game, really can't leave either of these players with that amount of space, that amount of time on the ball with 0 seconds left, because frankly the defender is in a much worse situation at that point in time. They know they've got to try and make that save. They can't commit too early, because if they do, it gets put behind them. They can't commit too late, because if it do, it gets put in front. That's exactly what Tom did. He just waited out his opponent, waited out Sebadam, and just took his opportunity just to pop it into the right-hand side. And we see Game 1 going 2-1 the way of BCU Blue in what should have been an overtime game.
Yeah, realistically, both teams looked like they could have taken it, but in the end, Versace Tom, with the confidence in the 1v1 situation, really caught Sebadam out. Probably thinking he's going to stumble. But not a team this level.
No, definitely not. And BCU coming out, slightly stronger team in that one, but we're seeing a lot of saves come in the way of BCU. 7 saves to UWE's 1, and it really just does go to show that actually the more offensive team there were UWE Sea Stags, but BCU taking the opportunities they had. Tom with the great double touch off of that backboard, and just had so much time to do so. And hopefully we see some challenges coming out a little bit earlier from the UWE Sea Stags. They were a bit hesitant on a lot of the challenges in that game, and it really is what set them apart from BCU Blue.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see, like I was saying before, it is just attack after attack after attack, and when it comes to defense, both teams not looking the strongest, but the one that is the strongest will come out on top.
Yeah, and as we say, that Magic not quite able to make any contact, and the ball just being played into the centre there for BCU Blue. A double commit from Versace Tom, and it's Magic. And no one really there to capitalise on any sort of play that's being made. Sebadam looking to take it a bit slower. Rottweiler with a great early challenge. Sebadam up early, but nowhere near the ball there. Takes himself completely out of the play. And we're going to see BCU Blue trying to make a play of it. Rottweiler, bad miss, leaving Magic to try and deal with it. And a miss on the side wall from Tom leaves Sebadam open for the goal. And again, we see UWEC Stags scoring from Sebadam following up a BCU Blue miss.
Yeah, just as I was saying, the way these teams are scoring, they're just going to keep pounding the attack, and if a mistake like that comes up, most players are going to be confident to take that into their own stride any days. It's actually Tom going solo and opts with a shot, gets it straight past Sebadam in another one-on-one.
And I think so far, Versace Tom has scored every single goal for BCU Blue, and he's done so with precision on every single one. None of his goals have come from no defenders. All of his goals have come from great solo plays. We saw the double touch in the first game. We saw the flick past Sebadam in the 1v1 in the latter half of the first game. And then we've just seen that one there. And all three really quite pivotal solo plays. Not really using his team much, but capitalising on the defensive positioning of UWEC Stags, knowing where he can and can't pick the ball, and we're seeing the game go to one.
I think, yeah, we have seen a lot of solo players coming out, especially from Tom, but having Rottweiler and Magic behind him, knowing that if he does mess up, he's first man, they're enabling him to play how he wants to play, basically. Having that in the team is really something that is going to bring out the best in a player.
Definitely, and we're seeing Sebadam and Jordan with a bizarre double commit there. Absolutely no reason for it to be made. Take both players out of the game. We're seeing Rottweiler flick it just over the defence, flicking it over Incognito as well. And this is going to be risky here. We're seeing Tom trying to clear out the defences. He's on his return journey, not able to do so. Sebadam with a very slow play there, and Tom just challenging so early. But now we're going to see a 2v1, and not really making much of that play. Had such an opportunity there to make that play a lot better than what it was, and just not capitalising, not doing anything really.
It's actually Tom and Magic having a little bit of a little double play there, trying to help each other through. Not working out in their favour, but this pressure going onto the UWE side as Incognito manages to get a clear, but it's pounded straight back to him. Rottweiler tries to get the bump. It's not working out as it's actually Tom going for another solo, but doesn't have the boost for it.
And is Magic probably should have tried to have gone for some sort of bump there, some sort of demo play. Doesn't really do either, leaves himself open, not for a pass or anything really, just up in the opposition field, trying to cause some mayhem. Doesn't do so, and we don't see BCU capitalising on any sort of play that they've just tried to make, and it's quite a shame they had every opportunity there to get a second goal and not really making much of it. Versace Tom trying to pop it into centre. Sebadam with a big miss, Incognito with a bad clear, and we're going to see Rottweiler popping it high. And nobody there for the follow-up. Jordan allowed to just make a big clear. But we're seeing some of the mistakes we saw from the previous game, where the teams are just hitting the ball for hitting the ball sake. There's no real plan to where they're hitting it. There's no method. It's really just who can hit the ball harder and faster.
Yeah, so you couldn't sum it up in any more or any less words. It's just constant aggression coming out from both teams, but it's which team's going to fault themselves in defence more. Jordan, doing what we saw last game, had passes left and right, but seems to just hit it straight back at the backboard.
Yeah, and this is happening quite a few times, and we're probably going to see it from Tom again. Just opting to hit it really far for no real reason. Hits it straight into Incognito. Nothing coming of it. Sebadam will look to find Jordan actually. I'm not sure if that was intended, but it's a great shot. Jordan not able to finish that, and the follow is slow from UWEC Stags there. They had so much time to make a better play, and Incognito, great pass there from Sebadam into the infield. Incognito with a shot onto the open goal, and at first I had to question what Sebadam was doing. He played it into the corner and it didn't look like the right play, but recovers fantastic. Incognito with the knowledge to stay centre for a pass, and we're seeing 2-1 to UWEC Stags in the second game of the series.
One in field, one goal. That's just is what it is, isn't it? You see the teams actually trying to pass the ball and it leads to a goal because no team knows how to defend it.
Yeah, and I think the teams are just struggling so much to defend plays like this, just because they just aren't happening much. We've seen maybe 1 or 2 plays actually coming through. That right there from Jordan, just to clear onto the backboard. Not really a pass to either of his teammates, more looking for a self-setup. And we've seen this so much, and both teams are able to stop these kind of plays because it's just 1v1s. Every player that we're seeing on stream so far is okay at 1v1s, therefore they're not going to struggle. And we just really need to see some more team play. We've said it so many times, but it's what makes the game interesting, and it's what makes it difficult for the team in Magic. Putting it into his own net doesn't really matter. 3-1 to UWEC Stags. We're seeing 1-1 in series score in this match.
Yeah, you can see both teams, they're capable of playing fast, but they're not playing fast where it looks fast. Like, they're playing fast, just throwing themselves at the ball. If they were playing fast in terms of finding passes or rotating around their team to try and catch the other team off guard, it's just not. It's who can win the ball first, and it's just leaving the ball floating in the air, and it makes the game look slower.
Yeah, neither team really showing much in that game. It's not fair to say to UWEC Stags, they did play well, they played much better than they played in that first game, but that's still not to say they are playing up to the standard we know they can play at. Sebadam, with arguably one of the best plays in the game so far, was that pass in field, just because it completely broke down the opposition, and that is exactly what we expect to see from high-level teams like this, is plays that are breaking people down. And so far, I think we just really haven't seen much of that. Sebadam going for passes, but nobody there to follow him up, and that is a massive misplay on the kickoff there. Incognito opting to turn, not in the right direction. Great pre-flip. Great 50 with Tom, and is Magic going up early, making a big mistake there, and again we're seeing no follow-up here from UWEC Stags.
Yeah, no, neither team willing to take a risk at this point, and maybe just feeling the other team out, seeing how they can get back into this play. But either way, it's creating a dead ball so many times. Incognito gets a really good bump.
We're seeing a great demo coming through there. And we even saw him continue to try and find Rottweiler in goal. Wasn't able to do so. Flick trying to go over 7. I'm not able to do so. Incognito trying to maneuver his car in the air there just to try and readjust for that shot that passed up, but not able to do so. And Rottweiler
great clear by Rottweiler.
Clear there.
Not much coming from it, as Incognito should get a simple clear off the backboard. Straight to Sachi Tom, who wasn't really ready for it. His Magic follows up. Rottweiler's there for the third, and he gets it underneath with a 50. Great goal. Great team play.
Yeah, and this all came from some quite bad defending from both Jordan and Incognito there. Jordan the first to just accidentally put it back towards his own goal. Incognito trying to clear it off the backboard, not able to do so. Gets a poor touch, leaves the ball to be passed right onto the backboard. And we're seeing a 1 goal to BCU Blue. 3 minutes, 45 seconds left on the game.
Yeah, as much as it was bad defending, it was good following from the BCU team. Rottweiler bumps Versace Tom into position to keep going after this ball, picks up the 100 boost. He's going to go solo here, unless he can get a pass in midfield, but clear by Sebadam. He's going to go alone.
And I think he was looking for the pass there, Tom. He picked up the mid boost, which was fantastic. Managed to keep his calm, keep his nerves, just readjust on the floor there. Really recovering quite well, not able to get a pass in. And if he has, it begs the question, do we see 2-0 there? And Incognito with a really risky play over his own backfield, trying a 50 Magic, not able to do so, looking to go upfield for Sebadam's pass. Picks up the 100 in mid. Magic with the demo, and Tom with the attempted clear, but not a great one. Rottweiler coming in to save both of his defense there.
Yeah, and you see a lot from just what Incognito did. Driving, he wanted to pass out from Sebadam, but instead he drove straight directly in front of him as if it was going to get flicked over. Created more issues, and real out ball in the end. As Sebadam's going to go solo, gets the dunk. Great goal.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the first times we've seen Sebadam really trying to go solo on a play. And absolutely fantastic play. puts it onto that backboard, so close to the corner, knowing full well he can just pinch it into that top corner. It's so hard to defend plays like that. Even if you can maneuver your car in the way in time, usually the dunk does come out from the team. And in this situation, no dunks needed. BCU Blue 7-1 with a great play there to cause it to be a draw. 1-all in game so far, 2 minutes 20 left.
The series, the score, the series score, the match score, it just sums up how close these teams are.
Yeah, and the quality of the Rocket League we're seeing here is arguably better than we saw in the last game. And we're going to see Tom with pretty much an open goal. He misses, but fortunately Rottweiler there for the follow-up. And you've got to question whether or not Tom should be missing from plays like that. He had the boost. There's no real reason to miss. That's a real big risk. Rottweiler fortunately there for the follow-up. I don't think it was an intentional leave there. He had no reason to. He had an open goal, but fortunately, Rottweiler not letting any pressure up there. If he'd have decided to go back, if he'd have decided to trust Tom there and having that goal, we could still be seeing a 1-all game.
Yeah, and you can see BCU committing that third man all the time in attack because they're that confident. The kind of shell-shock defence that is UWE. Magic's going to take his time here, straight to Versace Tom, who's going to get a big clear down the field. Incognito hits it backboard to 7-1, but he's missed, and Magic gets the double. It goes wide.
And that was a great decision there to pass across goal. And you see teams so reluctant to do it because it's just such a risky play. Jordan with a great clear there, trying to clear out Magic so he can't get the clear on the ball. Doesn't manage to do so, and we're seeing straight away a counter-attack coming from BCU. And it's just backwards and forwards in this game so far.
Yeah, Versace Tom getting that dunk, but no follow-up from his team as gives Sebadam a lot of time on the ball, but he decides to hit it straight back down the line to Rottweiler, who's going to stick with it. It goes up. Both BCU players commit, though. And that's going to go straight back down to the BCU goal.
Yeah, and that's a really big double commit. Rottweiler up early, trying to challenge 7-Am, does so successfully. Magic just flicking it over 7-Am. He's taken out one of the most important players on their team. Rottweiler looking to get a big looming clear into the middle with Jordan already on the backboard. Willing to pop it down for 7-Am just to try and clear it. Doesn't manage it, and it goes just over the crossbar. Nobody following up for BCU Blue. Rottweiler now coming in, goes for the shot. Just over Incognito. Incognito managing to get the play, and Magic trying to drop it under and not able to do so. BCU, you almost feel like they deserved a goal from that play, but all credit to UWE Sea Stags for that defensive play.
Yeah, even after the double commit from UWE, they managed to get the save, but Magic's shot wasn't anything punishing as this clears straight onto the backboard. Versace Tom looks a bit out of place, but manages to pop it up. Jordan's on the other end as it goes back into the middle. A great clear by Tom, straight back down. Incognito drops it. That's game 3, BCU.
Yeah, and I don't think Incognito will be too happy with that drop there. He had the opportunity to catch it on his car, not able to do so, and it just goes to show the pressure does get to both of these teams mentally. And we're seeing BCU Blue taking a current lead in the series 2-1 against UWE Sea Stags, but honestly, it's anybody's game right now. I genuinely think either team is capable of winning this game. We've seen defensive prowess from UWE. We've seen aggression from BCU. Both teams not really looking like they're going to let up anytime soon. And I'm still honestly not too sure who's going to be winning this series.
Yeah, it's literally like the last game, but faster. And they're actually scoring the chances. But even so, we're only getting 3 goals a game. So is it really that much? I mean, it looks faster. There's a few more pass attempts, but again, it's just these solo players that are actually working this time, but not as much as they could be.
Yeah, and I think we're definitely seeing a lot better consistency from these two teams than we've seen in previous games so far. These two teams really looking like the stronger two, and it almost feels like a shame that one of these teams has to lose right now. Neither still performing to the abilities we know they're capable of performing to, but that's not to say they're not performing well. Both teams really doing quite well here, and hopefully we'll see a very strong performance from both sides as we start game 4.
Versace Tom's ended up in the UWE side. He's going to keep the pressure on as Johnny gets a clear straight back down the middle. Going to land on Rottweiler, who's going to go solo here. Great save off the backboard from Incognito.
Yeah, and we're just seeing an attempted solo play there. It does run obviously a massive risk in the sense that they really didn't have much trouble with that. It was a great shot, but when a man is on the backboard as he was, it's such an easy thing to defend against. Even nowadays, the Champ 2s, Champ 3s, they're capable of defending shots like that if they're positioned well. And we saw it early from Sebadam last game. The shot placed into the top left corner, they're the kind of shots we're needing to see from these teams, because otherwise neither defense is going to be broken down that easily without misplays.
Yeah, and both teams kind of just trying to play off the other team's mistakes. Realistically, not going to be the best outcome. Incognito hits it straight into Versace Tom defending on the backboard.
Yeah, and we spoke about it just a second ago. Tom doing exactly what happened up the other end. A really good opportunity to take a lead, and instead it's just quite an easy shot into the corner. Seeing Rottweiler trying to clear out the defense there from UWEC Stags. And Sebadam managing to get a great 50 and another really good 50 on Magic there. Rottweiler left trying to clear. Not the greatest decision there, and Tom just bailing him out, but we see Sebadam up early. Not the greatest shot straight into Magic, but also not the greatest clear there from Magic.
I feel like, oh, and that's a straight shot down the middle of the goal, but not able to reach it. But just was about to say, I feel like both teams are kind of hitting the ball for hitting the ball's sake. It's not great placement from Jordan, but just managing to catch the BCU side out.
Yeah, definitely. And Sebadam there with what is a very lucky pass. He's just on the wall. The ball happens to get smashed straight into him. Jordan in the middle, ready for a pass, not the pass that came, but nonetheless, any pass going towards centre in a position like that, and you can aim almost 90% of the goal, and you're going to get it in. A massive miss from Tom coming out there. Jordan managing to read the backboard hit there. Sebadam popping it off onto the back. Tom expected to deal with this, going a little bit too high, and then Jordan opting for the top right corner. Magic, knowing full well he doesn't have the capability to save it, doesn't even try to jump for it.
Good team play coming out from UWE there to get Incognito with the pop out to Sebadam, who gets the backboard hit, albeit Versace Tom not quite getting any touch, but good following from Jordan to bring out a good goal.
And Sebadam up early there for the 50 challenge in the centre field. Sebadam again looking to take it. Leaves it for Jordan, just pop it onto the side. Probably not the best decision. Tom looking for a player to kind of clear out on his rotation out there. Not able to do so. Incognito popping it high for Sebadam. Sebadam probably looking for the backboard like he did in the last play. Not able to do so. Tom this time not making any mistakes clearing that ball. And if anything, he's got to just try and pop it up over Incognito. Not doing so successfully. Incognito popping it high, and it will be cleared quite easily by Rottweiler here.
Rottweiler going solo again, but cut out by Jordan. As Sebadam tries to get in the midfield pass. Magic also beating him to the ball, but whiffs on the wall. It's going to give UWE a bit of time as Versace Tom cuts him off again on the wall, and that's a defensive mishap that's going to lead to a goal.
Yeah, and that's great vision from Tom. Tom not even looking for a pass on that play. He knows where the defensive UWEC Stags are there. Aims straight for the net, knowing full well the speed at which that ball is going to be travelling. Nobody is going to be able to save that. Fantastic positioning, fantastic placement of the shot. And he's looking for a ceiling shot. Gets the cancel on his flip there. Not able to do anything with it, unfortunately.
Infield pass by Magic, not quite in the form that we wanted, but good attempt nevertheless, as Versace Tom's going to go solo again. Sebadam's not taking chances, but gets flicked underneath as Magic puts it into the middle. No follow-up from Rottweiler.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing some questionable decisions coming out from both teams here. Neither one really looking to make the plays we'd expect to see. We're seeing 2-on-1 on defense here, and the bump's coming out from Sebadam. Fantastic. Tom coming in, I think it was just in time to make that save there. Is Magic needing to clear it out now. Sebadam on the follow, pops it straight into the mid. Nobody there, unfortunately, to put it against the backboard. Looking for a bump on his way out. Jordan with the follow, and Tom happy just to drop it down and try and follow this. Incognito trying to keep the play alive. Bumps
Oh,
Tom.
the bump on Tom.
And it is a great bump, and they're really looking to aggress here. They are not willing to let this ball go anywhere near their half. UWEC Stags so much pressure, and we could be seeing this game go to 2-1. And just as I say that, Sebadam with a questionable pass backwards. no one really ready for it with the exception of BCU Blue, and it does lead them to be on the attack here. Tom trying to go for the 50, not managing it. Rottweiler trying to put it onto the backboard. Jordan there prepared to defend it, and Sebadam looking to get the clear.
Yeah, nice bit of counter-attacking from BCU, but just doesn't really come to anything when Jordan's sitting in a position to clean up. As Rottweiler's going to try and get the attack in there half a game. Sebadam gets a nice 50. Low boost albeit, but going to 50 against Magic. Gets the win, but Versace Tom's up as Magic's got a bump, and Rottweiler's going to get the drop down. Who was that? Was that Jordan that missed the ball?
It was just such an important decision to go for that demo there. Rottweiler with a fantastic redirect onto goal. Jordan...
Was the ball going in?
Jordan really...
I think it was going in.
Even if it was, great redirect nonetheless. Jordan really should be making better plays there. He needs to be getting in the way at such important times. That really could have taken it to 2-2 series, and instead we're seeing 2-2 in the game and overtime looming. We do see a bump though, Rottweiler coming out on his own team, but we see the drop down coming through from Tom, happy to put it down, not letting that ball go anywhere near their goal.
You can see that just the skill of Jordan is there, just when it comes to playing in that fast-paced situation where it means everything to the series. Just not able to get the read off the pass, and Rottweiler there for the touch, whether it's needed or not, just knowing what position to be in at what time.
Jordan,
another whiff coming out.
Trying to flick it there, doesn't do so. Tom with what is arguably a really bad demo decision there. Double demo, however, coming out, really making it quite annoying there for Jordan. And a great 50. Rottweiler almost putting that towards goal. Jordan there, able to defend that. A fantastic play. Not quite able to convert their opportunity there. But as we were saying a second ago, the decision from Tom to demo Jordan while they were ready to go on attack, putting him back in defence for his team, arguably questionable. And Jordan with the open goal, great pass into the centre. And this is what we were talking about. The decision to make infield passes just breaks down a team. This is the second time Jordan has received a pass in that centre that has just completely destroyed BCU Blue. We saw it in the last game from Sebadam. We're seeing it this game from Incognito. And both times Jordan ready to pounce in that centre field, causing the game to be a victory for UWE and 2-2 in the series so far.
Yeah, and I mean, it's safe to say that goal came from a mistake from Versace Tom, who was trying to go for those bumps again, and it just wasn't needed. And Jordan's positioning wasn't amazing, but he was there for an infield pass. It came from Incognito, finding the awareness to pick out Jordan and allow for that open goal.
Yeah, so we're seeing 2-2 in the series. We are going to see a game 5, and it really is what we wanted to see here. We were so excited to see how these two performed against each other, and they have performed very well. The only difference is both are being punished for any mistakes they make. We're seeing a lot of saves coming out. We're seeing 8 on the side of UWE Sea Stags, 7 on the side of BCU Blue. Both very good on defense, but those few mistakes are really what is causing the losses for these teams in this game. And I've got a feeling this game 5 is really going to be all down to who makes the fewer mistakes and who makes the first mistake.
Yeah, and kind of at the end of that game, we saw Rottweiler tightening the strings of the bag with Magic and Versace Tom in it and throwing it down the hallway as he wants to pick up the pace of this game and force the matter to UWE.
Yeah, we're seeing very early on some pressure from BCU Blue, not really making anything of their chances. Jordan going for the ceiling hit, just trying to clear it downfield, not passing it to anybody. Sebadam with a great hit over there. Versace Tom and Magic both going for the commit. Rottweiler happy to just clear it a little bit further out.
Decent touch by Rottweiler. Can't flick it over Sebadam though. He's going to keep going. Versace Tom's a bit muddled up. And Magic's almost beating Jordan to the ball as they both whiff.
Yeah, that could have been extremely dangerous there for BCU Blue. Magic not able to make any contact. Tom looking to put it onto the backboard. Rottweiler getting bumped by Sebadam, and that is such a crucial bump. Without that, you really do think that he's got the opportunity to score, and not able to put it under the bar there. Tom looking to go onto the backboard. Magic waiting to see what he does with it. Rottweiler maybe committing a little bit too high up here, leaving himself on defense a little bit too difficultly. Sebadam with a great 50, and Magic is going to be left to try and clear. Doesn't do so. Jordan with a great flick, dropping down. Magic just clearing the backboard there.
Yeah, the pressure coming out from BCU, but not quite on target when it needs to be. They've had the opportunities, even from Magic. Oh, and Jordan's up for the air dribble, and he's just going to go straight in. As Magic misses the ball, I don't know what's Jordan going for the bump, but taking it past Rottweiler, who really should have read it, and Magic side flips.
Yeah, it's really not the greatest air dribble. That's not to take anything away from him, but we said it at the start of the match that this is really going to come down to who makes the fewer mistakes. And unfortunately for BCU, Magic coming out with the first big mistake of the game. And I really do think that the BCU defense had every opportunity to save that, but Magic missing there really took them both by surprise. No one expecting that, and fortunately for Jordan, he's able to make what is a relatively easy air dribble there. He's just put it in the net, and you really do expect shots like that to be saved, especially at this level.
Yeah, and Magic's ability has cost him a goal in attack and a goal in defence. If he hit the ball when he was aerialing earlier in the game, they had an open goal to shoot on. And when he side flips in goal, it's led to a goal. So you kind of think, what are Versace Tom and Rottweiler going to do to try and get him into a position where he's comfortable?
Yeah, I definitely don't think they're going to be too happy right now with Magic's performance in this particular game. However, he has pulled off some absolutely brilliant plays throughout the series. So I'm really hoping he's able to reset mentally and just carry on playing as we know he's capable of. And we're seeing the double commit coming out from Rottweiler and Magic. Doesn't matter. Both players having the opportunity to get that goal. And it's just fortunate they didn't trip each other up here. Rottweiler
it came from a miss. From Magic, it came from a miss. So we're saying that his whiffs are costing him goals, but they're also creating goals. As Versace Tom, maybe on a different wavelength for knowing where the ball's going to come from Magic's whiff, but the other team not ready, and Rottweiler's going to place this on the backboard. Not the kind of shooting ability that we'd expect from someone like Rottweiler.
Really not. Rottweiler being in that position, we expect him to score 9 times out of 10. We never expect him to be missing there. Tom and Magic just getting a little bit caught up there, not quite having the communications we'd expect from the team. But like we were saying, we really do expect players like Rottweiler to be scoring those shots 9 times out of 10, and this one we really expect to be scoring. But he's put it straight into the centre for Jordan. An easy save, sorry. And this is just what we were talking about. Rottweiler needs to be doing better with those shots. That was the easiest opportunity they're going to get this game, in fact this series, and they have just wasted it.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's the nerves of Game 5, but he really should be doing better in that situation. But it's what they're going to do with this situation next, and he's missed another shot as Magic puts it straight into the middle of the goal. BCU hammering the UWE net, but not able to find a conversion as Versace Tom gets bumped into position, and Sebadam with a goal line save.
And we've seen it now twice. This is the second time we've seen BCU Blue with the prime opportunity to score and putting it straight into the centre where there is already a UWE Sea Stags. And at this level, you cannot be making mistakes like that. You need to be capitalising on your chances. You need to be converting your shots. And you need to be putting them in an area that just isn't easy to save. And the centre of the goal is not that place.
Sebadam going to play the ball down the line to Incognito, who, again, not too sure whether he needed to cut him out there, but he's done well to keep the ball in the BCU half. But Versace Tom gets a nice double touch to clear it, and gets the 100 boost at middle, leaving Jordan with not a lot of boost in defence, so it's all down to Sebadam in this attack.
Yeah, and Sebadam just such a confident player, able to take the ball out, able to make solo plays, able to make team plays, and he's just such a critical player to this UWE Sea Stags team. We see him there again, almost with a double. He gets the pass straight into the centre, just as I'm saying how important he is to this team. An absolutely incredible touch onto the backboard, double touch pass straight back onto the sidewall, into the middle for Jordan to score. Magic not really left with much to do. He has to try and challenge that first one. Doesn't quite get a hit on the ball, and we see Jordan with an easy save, and we could be seeing UWE Sea Stags with the victory this game.
Yeah, and see Versace Tom in another one-on-one situation. He takes it past, but flicks it onto the backboard. Magic gets a read, and it's in. They've actually scored a goal, and they've scored a challenge for once.
And this, again, Sebadam's so important to UWEC Stags. Tom, so important to BCU Blue. We see Tom again with the solo plays, creating those opportunities for his teammates. This time, Magic keeping his calm, keeping his composure, not missing. And that is just so crucial. That one goal there has kept them in it. And for every mistake Magic has made so far, he has just made up for it there.
But you kind of think, what could he have been doing? What could this BCU team be doing if they'd scored earlier? They had so many chances to get ahead. And luckily they get one when it's 4 seconds left as Jordan puts it onto the backboard. Incognito not quite able to make the read.
Incognito actually with a really bad read there. He's not even close to hitting the ball. But he does kind of give that pressure onto BCU. He does make them worry, and he does make them back out of the challenge in doing so. And Sebadam here, it looked like he was going to go for the pass in field. Doesn't opt to do so. Incognito still chasing that, still looking to challenge. Unsure why. Gets a great bump and leaves the goal open. And if it isn't for that following there that we were just talking about, that initial jump on the back rotation, absolutely wipes out Magic. Nobody in defense, nobody to stop that, and we see 3-2 going the way of UWEC Stags in what is the second match of the day.
Yeah, and I'm not too sure Versace Tom was quite happy with that result as he instantly leaves the server. But, I mean, you want to say UWE deserve it, and in hindsight, they probably do, but both teams bringing the fight and making it both, like the other side, not look deserving at all.
No, they really have. And both teams there had the opportunity to win multiple times. Magic managing to recover all of the mistakes he'd made earlier on in the match. And in that one foul swoop, Incognito going for a challenge on the BCU team, not really making anything of it, and on the rotation out, bumping Magic, making what is the most important play of the series for UWEC Stags to go 3-2 in game.
And realistically, BCU should have won. Like, they had so many opportunities to score earlier on in the game. There should have been at least maybe 4 or 5 goals to UWE's 2, and they just weren't able to convert.
Yeah, definitely. And before we go to a break, just to run through some of the other matches in round 2, some surprising 3-0 sweeps. We've got Lancers A sweeping Nottingham Trent, Portsmouth Paladins sweeping Kiel. We've obviously just seen the UWEC Stags and BCU Blue. The rest of the game is so much closer. UWEC Stags 3, BCU Blue 2, Loughborough Lions 3, Warwick 2, Newcastle 3, Hertfordshire White 2, Salford Lions 3, Sheffield Saints 2, Sussex Hammerheads 3-0 sweeping Bournemouth, and Brighton Babes 3-0 sweeping Rocketeers. And so far that is 2 sweeps that have been completed against Rocketeers, and they were so strong last week. You wonder what's happened. You wonder what must have happened for this to be the case.
I think they're playing with a sub, aren't they?
They're playing with Oliame instead of Orlando 80. Also notable is that Nottingham Trent are playing with a sub. They are playing with Rufy instead of Johnny.
Yeah, he's just good. Rufy's good, to be fair. So, I mean, it is. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one, but I think that's a team that could play with a sub and still bring it. What are their results today?
They lost to Lancaster.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe not then.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm using my
Nottingham Trent 3-1ing Hertfordshire White, Lancers A 3-0ing Nottingham Trent.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This is really all up for grabs right now. And
is that Loughborough in a 10-point game?
Yep, it's Loughborough versus Lancaster.
Okay.
It's apparently 2018 again.
I think Loughborough win that.
Yeah, I'd like to put it on stream, but I didn't know how long this match would go on. The previous match would go on for, so I just told them to go ahead and start playing.
So we're doing UWE versus Portsmouth
Paladins.
Ah, a little South game.
So we're going to go for a short break, and we will be right back after the break with Portsmouth Paladins versus UWEC Stags.
Sorry, I didn't realise. I thought I was spending time.
So, hello everybody, and welcome back to NSE Week 4, where we will be seeing Portsmouth facing off against UWE Sea Stags. And this will be an incredible lineup. Both teams currently playing for, I believe, 10 points. So, realistically, having seen what we've seen of UWE Sea Stags yet, do we think they have a chance against this Portsmouth team?
Do you have previous results up?
I do have them up, so I can get them, yeah. So we have seen so far Portsmouth beating KPA, which is Kiel, 3-0, and beating Sheffield Saints 3-1. Meanwhile, obviously, UWE Sea Stags a little bit more rocky, 3-1 against Sussex Hammerheads and only a 3-2 against BCU Blue. Not quite taking it as confidently as Portsmouth have so far. So, I mean, we haven't seen Portsmouth, so we don't really know if they're playing well as a team.
I know these two have played each other previously this season, I'm fairly sure. And I don't know which way it went. I want to say UWE are the team that should take it. But you never know. I mean, Portsmouth are just... they're like for the magicians. They just bring all this talent out of a bag that we didn't really know about. And they're playing with Esper tonight. They've shown that they can play with KVZ Flux and get results, and with someone who's not a lot more talented, but I mean on paper is a better player. So it's gonna be a tough one to discuss. I've just been informed that UWE won 3-2 in week 2, so I was correct. So still a close matchup.
Yeah, definitely. So we are going to be seeing Portsmouth facing off against UWE Sea Stags. Incognito facing Cycle on the kickoff. Kickoff going the way of Portsmouth there. Esper in a...
Using the Esper.
Esper using the Esper. It's an interesting there. We like it. Obviously, most of the cars haven't been standardised nowadays anyway. It's not too much of a difference playing in a car like that. But still, arguably, it really does have a little bit of a mental effect on the opposition team that you're facing off against.
Bit of BM. As Sebadam doesn't care. He thinks, you know what, you bring out your fancy car, your little, you're going to mess around against us, we'll just take it to you. And Geordie looking like a lost puppy on the goal line. Yeah,
this is a prime example of coming out early, coming out strong. Sebadam, great shot there, great pass coming in from Jordan, and it's just such an early bit of aggression that we did not see from UWE Sea Stags. In the last game. I've just realised we've got the teams the wrong way round, so at the moment we are seeing Portsmouth apparently 1-0 up. It's not. We'll have to change that afterwards, I do apologise. So on stream, if you just imagine the teams are the opposite way round, we'll get that changed in the second match. But it is UWE Sea Stags 1-0 up. It is not Portsmouth 1-0 up at the moment.
Yeah, and Psycho, the strongest player on Portsmouth, and not looking like he's got much control over the ball right now. It's a nice tackle onto Incognito, but it's going to be a clear down the field by Geordie. Straight to Sebadam, who's going to play it straight back into Psycho, who's going to play it straight back into Jordan, but over the top of him.
Sebadam coming in there, just trying to clear it away from his goal line. In doing so, instead just clears out Jordan. No real need to commit. It just shows a slight bit of lack of trust there. Jordan backing up into his goal, not getting a great clear at all. And Geordie trying to come in and capitalise on it, not able to do so. And a potential opportunity for a goal there has just turned into nothingness, really. And we're seeing UWE Sea Stags clear it far and wide there.
Already seeing Portsmouth bringing out the infield passes though. It's caught UWE off once, but not quite in the centre of goal. As Esper finds Psycho, but not able to get the finish. Geordie's taking it up the wall with low boost. Doesn't quite get the second touch as Jordan's going to clear it. Psycho on the receiving end. Sebadam looking a bit awkward in goal.
Yeah, and it was a great bit of play there, great bit of pressure. Incognito not able to get it on the backboard. Esper coming out with a demo, and it is a great demo, but nobody following up really. Psycho going for the shot straight into the centre. Easy clear for Jordan there. Jordan does so, and Geordie I know left on his own, popping it up into the side. Incognito looking just to play it back downfield. Psycho going over the top, missing completely, and we're going to see Esper in a bit of a struggle here. Opts to go off of the ceiling. No idea what was happening defensively there from Portsmouth.
Two guys on the goal line, both missing the ball. I think Esper expected Incognito to be up for it a lot quicker, and he just... bit of lack of communication as Incognito gets a slaughter straight between the two Portsmouth defenders.
Yeah, so as we have previously mentioned in the stream so far, it is 2-0 to UWE Sea Stags. It is not 2-0 to Portsmouth. Unfortunately, colours on the wrong side. Jordan taking that far too slow, allowing every opportunity for Esper to clear that one out. And this is just a couple of misplays that we've been seeing so far. And this is crazy. Both of these teams are playing for 10 points. Great bump right there, though. And that is so important. Coming in.
Incognito showing that he can do it in the last game and also this game. Taking Geordie out of the picture and just no Portsmouth defender there to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, and that is absolutely incredible play right there. So dominant from Incognito, going straight for the attack, straight for the aggression. Severdam just putting it on target, clearly being told by Incognito that he's going to be clearing out the defense. And we're seeing 3-0 up to UWE Sea Stags so early on in this game.
A double commit coming out from UWE as Psycho still in the attacking half. Geordie puts it on target, but Severdam pre-jumping it miles before he should have been really. Works out in his favour as Jordan goes for a dunk on Psycho. He's going to take it solo, gets the dunk. Severdam's going to come back to clean up as Psycho is making him look a bit silly.
Yeah, just for those people commenting on the fact that the team's the wrong way around, unfortunately, because one of the casters is currently hosting as well, we can't change the teams without tabbing out and
Esper with the double touch attempt, but not able to get it on target. Something we should really be seeing him converting. There's a little passing play coming out from UWE. Nothing major in terms of putting pressure on Portsmouth. As Severdam's going to try beat Psycho to the ball, taking him out of the play. Esper taking a touch off the wall, but giving it straight back to Incognito, who's going to go for another bump. Geordie on terms of being able to avoid it this time, though.
Yeah, we're seeing Jordan with such little boost, really going to struggle on the return journey here, and is doing so. I don't think he's got too much. He might have picked up the 100 in the corner. Severdam trying to go up to read that pass there from Jordan. Incognito following harshly behind. Geordie going to get the clear upwards, and we're seeing Psycho jump. No real pressure added there. And Jordan allowing Geordie to 50 him there. That's really risky. He's put himself in a difficult position with the team here. And Psycho just opting to put it into the corner, popping it straight over. Great pass to Esper. Esper on the follow. Absolutely incredible play there. 3-1 to UWE Sea Stags. Please ignore the current teams on stream. We have got the wrong way around, but because we're casting mid-game, we can't change them until this game's over. They will be changed afterwards. Please don't panic. We will give the right team credit here. We're trying to just see if you guys are all on your toes. We want to know that you're all engaging and you're all actually watching and we're not just farming viewers.
Nice infield pass from Psycho. Geordie just puts it straight onto Incognito, but gets a nice follow-up demo. Psycho's going to try keep possession, but taken out of the play by Jordan, who takes it over Esper. Psycho trying to get back in as Geordie cuts rotation to get the save.
Yeah, we're going to see Psycho just happy to take it out. Unfortunately for them, I think they've realised now they're not going to be able to pull back this game as UWE clear it long and fast. Severdam with a great clear. This is just going to drop at some point just now, and we're seeing the winners as UWE.
Yeah, and a pretty confident 3-1 besides maybe the infield. I mean, it wasn't really an infield, it was just a simple roll over the backboard to Esper. A bit of a mistake on defense coming out from UWE, but overall looking like a stronger team.
Yeah, and this does not look like the UWE Sea Stags we saw in the last matches. They played so much more crisp, so much clearer, and so much better. And just overall, they never really looked like they were struggling against Portsmouth this game. Portsmouth always on the back foot. We're seeing some really unusual misses coming out for some really high-level players. Psycho with that big miss on defense, leading to what was, I think, maybe the second goal from UWE Sea Stags. And Portsmouth never really looked like they were getting back in it.
Yeah, I mean, we say UWE looked bad last game, but I think in terms of pace, BCU really brought it to them harder than Portsmouth have. Portsmouth trying to take a steady approach and try to find those passes, but it's just not working in their favour.
And I've just been informed that in the relegation battle at the moment, Kent are 2-1 down. And from coming to nearly getting top points last last week to almost being relegated this week. It's such a change.
Oh, and the kickoff goal.
As I'm talking about another goal, we see a kickoff goal going the way of Portsmouth straight off the bat. Geordie with a great kickoff. Unfortunately for Geordie, he's just never going to be able to catch up to that one there. And we're seeing 1-0, 1 second in to Portsmouth.
And Psycho first to the ball. Jordan's going to put it into the side as Psycho's back on the ball. Incognito clearing it over 2 Portsmouth defenders. No follow-up pressure as Esper just clears it straight back down the middle of the pitch. Psycho finds a pass to Geordie. Straight back to Psycho, but not quite ready to receive.
And that's some great passing plays, and
pinch.
It's an accidental pinch right there. And I don't even know if Jordan meant to do this. I don't think he did. I think he was looking for a pinch with the ground. He was. Instead, pinches it just off the side of Geordie's car. It goes straight into the back of the net. 2 arguably not great goals here. However, still both teams playing quite well. 1-1 in the game, 1-0 in the series to UWEC Stags.
Yeah, it could be 0-0 at this rate, to be fair. The goals that have come out haven't really been representative of both teams' ability. And a good infield pass again from Psycho as Geordie shows us what we weren't talking about, showing us that he is capable of scoring a good goal.
And this Incognito, just with the miss there, really should have been able to get the block on there. But all credit goes to Psycho for that infield pass. Absolutely phenomenal. Geordie, with the knowledge he's going to get a good pass in, going up early, beating out the defenders, putting it right into the centre of the goal. And such an easy goal from him. Looking for Esper on the solo play there. Not able to put it into the goal there. Not able to take it around Sebadan. We're seeing Jordan just happy to clear it out here and happy to try and put the pressure on this Portsmouth defence.
Yeah, you can see Portsmouth having a lot of respect for their teammates' ability and play style. Just going when they need to go rather than trying to double commit. Esper wins the ball here. Gonna try put it into the middle, but Sebenham's up quickly.
And Incognito was just trying to bait out Cycle into the play there. He manages to do so successfully. And we're going to see Incognito with a great infield pass. And Geordie has 0 boost, cannot catch up to it. And it is what might be one of the weakest goals we've seen today. And it's just not great here from Geordie. Geordie left back-footed.
Missing every single pad, not been able to wave dash, and just kind of hopping along, looking out of place.
Yeah, and he always looked uncomfortable on defense there. He needs to be picking up at least a 12 boost pad to leave himself some chance to save a shot that might go on target like that one did. It's a weak shot and it's weaker defense, but we are seeing a 2-all game so far with 3 minutes 23 seconds left on the clock.
Psycho's going to try and bring the play to the team as he takes it past all of the UWE players for a simple tap-in at the end. Looking so calm and composed on the ball.
Yeah, and it's just simple play from a player like Psycho. He makes it look so easy. The solo goal coming out. Portsmouth really starting to show some dominance. We spoke about the mistake on defense earlier on in the game, but Psycho has just shown us why they are in this 10-point battle right now. They deserve to be there. They've played so well so far, and hopefully they're going to continue to play well. And nobody on defense. Geordie looking to try and predict the bounce, doesn't do so. Unfortunately for him, it goes a little bit higher than he's expecting. And Psycho left to try and defend this. Put it onto the backboard. A bump onto Geordie means a double touch could be there, but Psycho coming in with some great defense there. Really bailing out his team. And we're seeing Sebenham trying to put it high and wide. Geordie happy to clear it. Sebenham stealing the boost on his way out.
Yeah, Psycho the key point in this play, keeping Portsmouth out of trouble as UWE hammering shots at the goal. Psycho up for a shot on target, and it's a great finish.
Yeah, and Psycho's just so consistent with plays like this. Again, I can't really call it a solo goal because really the setup, all credit goes to UWEC Stags there. Not the greatest clear. Trying to put it sideways, trying to put it onto the sidewall for his teammate, instead hitting just the curve that pops it just up. Psycho reading the play better than anybody else on the field there, putting an easy shot onto target. Positioning of the shot absolutely incredible, but it's almost something that we've become to expect now from Psycho. He's so capable, so able, and so lethal when he's on attack.
Yeah, some people would say those goals aren't mechanical, but the calm and composure of being able to just get himself into position early and put the ball where he wants it, on target, which just shows his ability and confidence.
Yeah, and he's just everywhere. If they need him on defense, he's on defense. If they need him in attack, he's in attack. And he's just piling on the pressure now to UWE Sea Stags. Sea Stags didn't really look in their element at all this game. One goal, in fact, I think both goals coming from misplays on defense. And we're going to see Psycho popping it right into the corner, not able to do so. Just hitting the side post. I'm happy to take it out quite slow. Trying to do a backflip, trying to get it high and onto the backboard. Doesn't manage to do so. And we're seeing Portsmouth happy to try and take this clear. Jordan popping it just over Psycho there. Esper left with a backflip. Doesn't get it where he'd want to get it. Sebadam coming in with a 50 and not making anything of it.
Psycho keeping the pressure up as he gets a dunk onto Incognito and keeps the ball inside the UWE half. It's Jordan left in a 1v1 situation, but Geordie, great cleanup. Sebadam goes for a beat Psycho, but beaten out and demoed in the end.
And I think in that play, I think Psycho was happy. Even if he didn't get the ball, he was equally as happy to demo Sebadam. He knows that Sebadam is one of the more dangerous players on the UWE Sea Stags team. That's not to say they're not great altogether, but Sebadam really is the danger man. Taking him out of any potential passing play opportunities for this team is so crucial, as we've just seen there. Sebadam getting a great pass over to Jordan. Jordan not able to put it on target as well as he'd hoped.
Yeah, and again, just one-man team throughout. As Sebadam gets a touch from the midfield and it just drops straight onto the Portsmouth goal. Geordie trying to find Psycho, but weak claim. Esper goes again for the in and out. The squishy save, and he just isn't able to connect.
And this is the second time we've seen a misplay from Esper trying to go for that squishy save. As you say, both times being caught on the back foot has led to a goal for UWE Sea Stags, and he really needs to start playing smarter and stop being so
aggressive.
Aggressive and almost arrogant in play style. You can't be trying to make those kind of decisions against a team like UWE Sea Stags. You can't be trying to go for squishy saves when a simple, normal save would suffice.
Yeah, and that goes back to maybe a kind of reference to Psycho's goal. Clearly calm and collected, simple tapping, where maybe Esper should have taken a leaf out of his book. Gone for the simple save.
Yeah, and I think maybe this will be something that will be spoken about in comms. Esper really needs to be told that, you know, the simple plays is what will break down a team like UWE Sea Stags. They cannot afford to just be freestyling, basically. They can't be afford to go for squishy saves when all you need to do is single jump. You can't be trying to go for solo flicks, air dribbles, flip resets when all you need to do is a simple infield pass, and we've seen it already in this series. Psycho, the only player really capable of pulling off these really spectacular solo goals. The rest of the team, they just need to take it back to basics. Play as a team, and they will win the games.
Yeah, and just, I mean, you want to say it was a close game, but the only reason it was close was because of that mistake from Esper at the end. It was pretty much all Portsmouth that game, as the first game was all UWE.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we saw that game, 3 goals coming out from mistakes on the Portsmouth side. None of the goals from UWE Sea Stags there were caused because they played particularly well. They were just positioned fairly well. Portsmouth, on the other hand, we saw 2 great solo goals from Psycho. An unfortunate pass from UWE Sea Stags, but hopefully they'll be able to turn it around this game, and UWE Sea Stags will be able to get a mental reset with an early save coming in from Sebadam, but no real challenge there.
See a bit of an awkward attempt from Esper there as he leaves it for Geordie, who's going to go for the corner read. Misses the ball, but Sebadam's there for the clean-up as Esper puts it onto the backboard. Jordan's a bit awkward. Psycho backflips as he could have got the shot on target. He gets the bump, and that leaves it open for Geordie, who cleans up.
And that is an absolutely fantastic bump coming out there from Psycho. Psycho, he does get the backflip, but you almost wonder if it was planned. He knew he could not get that ball. Backflips, comes back down, pops it into the side, recovers so well, so fast, just to pop it over that last defender, gets a perfect bump, and just allows the opportunity for them to take an early lead. 50 seconds into this game, and we're seeing 1-0 to Portsmouth.
Great infield pass from Incognito, but Sebadam not quite able to reach it. Psycho goes for a flick. Jordan's there for the read in the end.
And we're going to see Esper probably looking to clear it wide. He actually doesn't get a great clear. Sebadam trying to find Incognito. Doesn't really manage to do so. Recovering well off of the wall there. Finding Jordan in the center and Incognito left in what is a risky 2v1 here. But popping it over to Sebadam onto that sideboard. Incognito, we know he doesn't have much boost at the moment. Jordan looking to find the backboard. Does so. Looking for the read on it. Doesn't manage to do so. Esper happy to take the clear there.
Yeah, and that goal, I don't want to say it. I mean, it's good position from Jordan, but I've just been watching Esper for the past, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 seconds. And he proceeded to rotate around, steal the 100 boost, bump Geordie, and then jump for the ball that he shouldn't have been his in the first place. And it goes straight back out in the middle to Jordan, who gets the clean-up shot.
Yeah, and this is not the greatest display, but that's a great challenge by Geordie. There's Psycho. We expect to see him putting those kind of shots on target. He needs to be making the most of those opportunities. Doesn't manage to do so. Geordie with a great challenge in that midfield, beating out two of the UWEC Stags players, and you almost feel hard done by there by Geordie. Psycho, the main man, expecting to finish plays like that all the time, doesn't do so. We're still in a 1-1 game.
Yeah, and there's pressure coming out from UWE as Jordan gets it off the roof, straight into Incognito, who doesn't quite get the shot on target, but Sebadam keeping the ball inside the Portsmouth half. Psycho gets the play down midfield as Incognito straight back up onto it. Jordan trying to find Sebadam, going up maybe a bit too early for that ball. No pressure real on him, but takes Psycho out of the game. Ball falls dead in the midfield.
Yeah, and Incognito, they're happy to just try and put more pressure on him. Not really looking for one of his own team there. Psycho trying to pop it over Sebadam. Sebadam going over the top of him. And this is where we're going to see players like Portsmouth struggle. But instead, we see the demo coming out from Sebadam, not really causing any issues there for Portsmouth. Portsmouth not really feeling the pressure at the moment. So they're just happy to take it slower, happy to take it out. And we're just going to try and see some 50s coming out there from Geordie Unknown, sorry. And he does, and it's a great 50. Geordie with the bump on the backfield, and Jordan trying to put it centre. But unfortunately, no one really able to find any kind of shot on target from there.
And Jordan going up for a read, dunks out Esper. Maybe not the best idea from Jordan, as Esper looked like he had this ball all day. Great dunk by Sebadam, but Esper missing the ball, hitting it straight into Jordan, and straight onto the target.
Yeah, and this is where sometimes you can reap the rewards from being overly aggressive. As you say, Jordan, probably not the smartest idea in an extremely high-level match. You don't expect Esper to be missing that off the backboard. He does, and Jordan is rewarded for it. Gets the dunk over the top of him, and it is overall a great play. But Psycho with a great flick, passing it into Jordan, into Geordie Unknown. Esper trying to follow up that play, not able to do so. And Incognito looking to take it out, looking to get that pinch with the ground like he did in the first game, just to score an easy goal, but doesn't manage to do so.
Sebadam taking out two of the Portsmouth teams. Goes straight back onto his own goal. Incognito taps it down. Psycho trying to keep the pressure on as Geordie knocks it down to Psycho. Incognito hits the read off the backboard. Jordan keeping the pace up with a little boost. Psycho's going to put it back onto target as Sebadam gets a nice dunk.
And that's a great 50 there from Geordie, and Psycho looking to just pop it over into the centre. Sebadam with a great decision to jump there. He knows both of his teammates are out. He's just faked out Esper there. Esper, no real need to go and challenge that. He could have probably have seen the fact that he had zero boost there to play with. And we're just seeing a few unconventional challenges coming out from both teams, not really necessary. And no one really looking like they're going to be scoring any more goals. And as I say that, an almost open goal presents itself to Sebadam. Nobody in the backfield for Portsmouth, and you wonder where all of their players were. Nobody was on attack, nobody was on defence, so where were they?
Sebadam gets a dunk in the corner, but Psycho's there to read it. Not a great attempt on goal. Geordie gives it straight back to the UWE side. Esper panicking on the wall, straight into the middle. Psycho tries to keep it up, but misses it. It's a lucky bounce off the wall, as Sebadam's just going to drop it, and that's going to be UWE 2, Portsmouth 1.
Yeah, Sebadam there, more than happy to let the ball drop, more than happy to just play it straight back onto the ground. He knows what this Portsmouth team is capable of. If he gives them any opportunity to try and take this, to try and equalise, he knows they're capable of doing it. Psycho making some really questionable decisions this game. He knows he can play better than that, and he needs to play better than that. We saw Esper with a misplay on the back wall, leading to the Jordan taking the lead there, and really, we're just seeing some questionable decisions coming out, and it's just not what we expect to see from two top-tier teams facing off for 10 points, but still, the speed of the game, the quality of the game coming out here, they are both playing very well. Both teams deserving every bit of credit they get.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe Esper has come back into the team and expected to feel like he needs to keep up with the pace that Portsmouth have been having, or trying to force his way back in, but he's not playing up to his standard that he should be playing at, really. And I don't want to place the blame on one player, but he's not pulling his own. And if Portsmouth can't trust him in defence, which clearly is what they rely on, allowing their teammates to play in a comfortable situation, it's going to lead to more goals from a team like UWE, who can just constantly fire shots.
Yeah, and it's definitely a bit of a worry, and you start to think, are Portsmouth going to play a few less risks now on defence, knowing full well that Esper's made that crucial mistake? We really need to see a bit more of an impressive display here from Portsmouth. We know they're capable of doing it. We know Psycho is more than capable of pulling off some great shots, and we just really need to see it.
Yeah, and you can see Portsmouth trying to get back into this game, but Sebadam with that demo, going to stick it to him. Incognito keeping the pressure up, takes it past Psycho. Sebadam's going to keep the ball in the Portsmouth side, knocks it over Geordie, and Psycho is going to make a simple read off the backboard, but Incognito back in with this constant pressure.
Yeah, and that is going to be almost a goal. That's a fantastic save. Esper putting it back into the centre on his own goal there. A very questionable decision coming out from Esper. We saw the miss coming out into the corner in about, I don't know, 20 seconds earlier maybe. And then we're seeing it again just then. Esper is really putting his own team under a bit of pressure here unnecessarily. He's got 8 boosts to try and get back and help his defence. He's not going to be able to do that. He's relying on his team being able to clear here. Unfortunately for Psycho, he's able to do so. Great pass into Geordie, and it's an open goal. Unfortunately for Jordan, he's not able to get back quick enough. Psycho, fantastic pass, just popping it over Jordan. Jordan trying to recover as well as he can. He is so close to getting it, but just not able to. And we're seeing a 1-goal game to Portsmouth, 1 minute, 27 seconds in.
Yeah, I think Jordan rushed himself in defence there. He had to rush back to get back into the play. And against someone like Psyche, you want to try and get him off the ball as soon as possible, but I think staying in back post, or at least on the ground, rather than throwing himself out the play, was a better decision. Just wasn't quite comfortable in that situation.
Definitely, we're seeing Sebadam trying to take it up, really putting pressure on Esper, trying to force him into making some saves. They've probably identified now that, you know, he is one of the problems that they're facing with, especially on that defense. Esper with a great pass up to Psycho. Psycho with a great bump. And unfortunately for him, nobody following up on that Portsmouth offense. Esper looking to just clear it onto the back wall. Incognito trying to get a booming clear, not quite the clear he would have wanted. Fortunately followed up by his teammates there. And Psycho will look at just carrying this out. And is just going to try and get the 50 where Jordan does so. 50 with Incognito, not quite going his way.
Incognito whiffing the ball, but faking out Geordie in doing so. And this pressure, going to put it on Psycho, but who else would you want to clear that up than the man Psycho himself, confident in any situation. As Portsmouth trying to advance back down the field. Esper over the UWE defence. Geordie keeping this pressure on, allowing Esper to get into a position to knock it, into a position to get a shot on target with Jordan's kind of lacklustre touch. Gonna punish.
Yeah, and this is just what we're talking about how Esper needs to start making himself more money. He needs to start making a few less mistakes, and he does so there. Jordan taking it past one man, tries to get it under control, doesn't manage to do so. Esper coming out with a great dunk there, and just causing it to be a 2-goal game. And UWE Sea-Stags are really going to struggle getting back into this. Portsmouth have been so dominant this game, and they really have looked like the better team. Psycho with a great read there. Unfortunately, not able to get the second touch. Geordie looking to get the block on Psycho, looking to continue taking it, and they're both up, and this is where some of the misplays will happen. Esper has to respect the fact that Psycho's up there. Whether there was a misplay in communications, whether both players called it, somebody has to come down.
I think Esper's trying to help Psycho in that position, or Psycho's called he has no boost, so Esper's up. But he needs to make himself more confident and committed to the actual handoff of the ball, otherwise it just looks like he's going up to bump his teammate.
But the one thing we have to give credit to Esper for this game, and it hasn't been mentioned really so far, is his ability to 50 and his ability to dunk. This game, he has been making some really good 50 decisions. He has been really challenging in some of the best places, and he has taken away all opportunities for UWE to go on attack. I say that, and Esper gets a touch with the wall, which drops it straight into the front for UWE. UWE not able to capitalize. But Esper just really being a bit of a nuisance for this UWE team at the moment.
You can really see UWE trying to find these passes, but the final touch not quite giving it enough power to allow their teammates to get into the players. Jordan takes his time on the ball, and in doing so takes out the Portsmouth side. Going for a solo dribble, he's dunked it onto the Portsmouth defence, but not quite able to get the finish.
Yeah, and that's some great defence coming through there from Portsmouth. Portsmouth managing to get the block on the air dribble, which is so difficult from a position like that. Geordie had every opportunity to be able to get the dunk. Both players committing, managing to get the block on there, and then the second shot that comes through, Geordie with an absolutely incredible block. We're seeing Incognito happy to take it over to his own wall, trying to pinch and get a big clear, not able to do so. Has 0 boost, is going to opt for the 12 boost pad, and will probably look to just retreat from that play.
You can see Geordie trying to get the bump onto Incognito as he's rotating out, but not able to do so. And Jordan trying to beat Esper, but gets beaten in the air. Sebadam gets also dispossessed by Esper, who's keeping the ball in the UWE side.
Yeah, and Esper making some great decisions there to challenge, really stopping UWE from making any sort of play. Geordie happy to put that onto the ground. No reason to try and keep it up. 2-0 game. They'll just be looking to go into this final game with the lead in the last game, and they're just going to look to continue that momentum, to continue that pressure they've been building, and hopefully look to take this 5th game and claim the 10 points in this week.
Yeah, and like it's literally just switching between the games. So the games that have been won have been dominant from the other sides, with Portsmouth shutting out UWE in this game, and the previous game been a UWE game. So
yeah, and
this last game could go either way.
It really could, and we need to comment on the fact that 8 saves coming through from the Portsmouth team, and not just from one singular player. All of them contributing to that defence that they were putting up there, and it was an incredible defence. Geordie with a fantastic stop towards the end there. Psycho and Geordie with a great double commit. You don't often hear double commits being great, but when you've got an air dribble coming towards you like that, sometimes you need the double commit to stop the dunk happening, and that is exactly what they did. Recovery from both players, spectacular to be able to stop the second shot. And hopefully this momentum from both teams can be carried into this last game, because we're really going to have a great game 5 on our hands here.
Yeah, and it's whether both teams are going to play a bit more passive or try to take it to the other side. And I think the first goal is going to be determined by which team can be the most dominant.
Yeah, definitely. And coming out strong. Both teams really trying to capitalise off the kickoff. None able to do so. We're just going to see it going backwards and forwards for a moment. Esper with a great block on there, trying to get the recovery, and does so fantastically. Recovers, managed to just be out. I think it was Sebadam there. Gets a great touch here. His recovery is absolutely phenomenal. Sebadam not expecting it. Going wide, not opting to block the shot on goal. Not thinking Esper's got the recovery there. An absolutely incredible play. 1-0 up, 19 seconds gone. Portsmouth take the lead.
Yeah, and like I was saying, the team that's going to score first going to be the one who brings it to the other team, and Esper, by doing so, ball chasing kind of, but it works out in his favour. And Psycho knocking it over the last man, and Esper again being in the right position. Maybe he's heard us talking about him, but really bringing it out this game.
Yeah, somebody's definitely told Esper that we were saying he needed to improve, and he has done so. Not the greatest of shots, just because it's just so easy, but it doesn't matter, because previous games he's been missing things like that, and now he's saying, no, you know what, you casters, you're right, I need to be consistent, and I'm not showing you guys what we can achieve as a Portsmouth team, and I need to, and he is.
Yeah, and Portsmouth looking like a whole different team this game. That last game has clearly given them the confidence to push forward, and UWE not looking strong on the ball at all, with the whiff coming out from, it was Esper, kind of giving UWE the advantage, but not able to capitalise.
Yeah, massive whisk coming out from Esper, but Jordan's just taking so long to recover there, and I think that was a wall
yeah,
dash
I was
there
just
from
about to say
Sebedam.
that.
And I'm not entirely sure it was intentional. He went so fast that he just went straight past the ball there. But it's nice to see a few new mechanics coming out in this final game, even if they're not entirely meant.
Yeah, UWE still trying to keep this pressure on, but Portsmouth solid like a rock. Defense, and Geordie's going to capitalise on Jordan's whiff. Both got this goal and the last goal have come from Jordan trying to read it off the wall and just completely missing, not taking his time at all.
Yeah, and that's quite a bad miss there from Jordan. It's so important to try and hold off this rampage that Portsmouth are throwing on UWE Sea Stags, and Jordan coming out with plays like that is really risky. We've seen him miss before, and it was almost expected that he was going to miss that. It's harsh to say, but he has not been reading the walls well this game at all. Honestly, not too much he can do. I don't think he's got much boost. He didn't pick up that corner. Psycho making the pass, doing a great 50 on the challenge. Geordie coming over the top of him and just leaving Jordan in no man's land. Unfortunately for UWE Sea Stags, having played so well in the first couple of games, 4-0 down, 3 minutes 10 seconds left, it's still all to play for.
Psycho having a bit of fun against them now. Yeah, like you were saying, UWE not looking like the team we saw at first. Maybe they can bring something out in this last 3 minutes, but the way Portsmouth are playing, I almost said Psycho is playing, but I mean Esper stepping up this game and Geordie also getting in on the action. You can't pin it down on one person, and when this Portsmouth team is playing together, they just look unstoppable, as Geordie's going to beat Jordan to the ball. Clearly the better Jordan in this situation.
Yeah, and Psycho here with a great pass just onto the sidewall. Jordan kind of stuck a little bit there. He's the only man left in defence. He has to try and cover that entire goal. He knows Psycho is capable of scoring from that angle. Instead of going for goal, he opts for the pass on to Jordan, and it is a great decision. But we'll see a quick kickoff goal from Sebedam. But 4 goals, can they really pull it back? 2 minutes 40 left. The way they've been playing, do we think they can actually win this?
I mean, it's not the way UWE are playing, it's the way Portsmouth are playing at the moment, and that kickoff goal might have been a bit of a mistake, but I don't really see UWE bringing anything other than a few little counter-attacks to the table.
No, me neither, and Sebedam there challenging Geordie early, and Psycho just managing to get the 50 with Sebedam, not really going in anyone's favour, going straight into the centre, and Psycho opting to look for the pass into centre. You wonder if the better decision there would have been to try and bump the player. He was the only man back. But I think at 5-1, I think the fancier the play, the better at this point for Portsmouth. They're not looking to just take the simple...
monster plays. You got to get some monster in you.
They're definitely looking for a monster play right here. They know full well. They feel like they've already got the victory under their belt for this game. Esper just popping it over. Jordan, great pass to Incognito. Psycho, obviously with a fantastic save there. Sebedam looking to put it high, looking to get the second touch, looking to get the third and the block if he can. But Psycho getting the block on him as well, stopping that.
Geordie there in the right place at the right time. You kind of think, is it a bit of luck coming out from Portsmouth? But I think they deserve a bit of luck the way they've been playing.
Yeah, definitely. And a pass going through centre, not really making anyone challenge. We see a double commit.
Sebedam wasting the ball. You kind of think, could he have infield passed that? I know we've emphasised it, and it's not the only way to play the game, but Sebedam had so much time, and he just gives it straight back to the Portsmouth defence.
And shockingly, we're seeing UWE Sea Stags there, allowing Psycho to waste a good 6 seconds of the play. And it might not seem like that much, but when you consider that's about 1/10 of the time that we've got remaining, you really can't be letting players waste that much time putting it high onto the backboard. Jordan, he knows he doesn't have the boost to go for it, but Psycho getting a great read off of the backboard, stopping any kind of attack that can happen.
Yeah, Jordan allowing Psycho on 0 boost to get himself back in the play and get the 100 boost. As Esper going for a double touch, also on low boost. Sebadam not able to make the read, and Psycho also not making the read. I think this came from a whiff from Jordan. Oh no, maybe just Incognito whiffing it. I think Psycho expected him to get the redirect, but
Incognito probably calling in comms. Yeah, that was meant to be a fake. We both know it wasn't. He's gone for the ball. It has faked out Psycho. Psycho expecting the shot to come across there, and Psycho looking to get a block on. But we do see it go to 5-2. 34 seconds left in the game. I just don't think it's possible now for this UWE C-Stacks team to pull it back. And I think we're going to be seeing Game 5. We are going to be seeing Game 5 going the way of Portsmouth. A bad miss on defense there. Not really that it mattered. Psycho putting he doesn't even put a shot on. He's just playing it down towards the goal.
Jordan again. You don't want to say it, but he's 3 of these goals this game have come from him missing the ball, or even it might have been 4th. That might have been the 4th goal that came from him misreading the ball on the wall, and they've not been easy reads. As Sevenham gets maybe a consolation goal, but I mean you kind of expect Jordan to be making these reads.
We know the quality and the caliber.
Pre-flip.
We know the
nice
quality
pre-flip
and the caliber of Jordan on defense. He does need to be making better decisions, but like you say with Sebadam there, the pre-flip coming out, trying to keep the hopes alive. It's such a shame that one of these teams has to lose.
Oh, you kind of wanted to see Psycho score that just from his setup. He was backwards to the ball, not a UWE player in sight, and he just backwards aerials it. That's a classic Season 3 technique, and Portsmouth taking the win in Game 5 and clearly deserving it.
Yeah, Portsmouth taking the easy victory there in that final game. It could have been 6-1, to be honest. Jordan, so unfortunate. He'd done so well initially during the game, and he just wasn't able to keep up his performance. And unfortunately for him, we then see Portsmouth taking that game 3-2 in the series. Such a close series and such a great 10-point matchup there.
I mean, you summed it up perfectly. Like, just we kind of slated Portsmouth originally from maybe a Esper point of view, but he clearly, I don't know, tightened his belt, put a bit of gel in his hair, swept it back, and was ready to get back on the scene and show why he's one of the best players in NSE.
Yeah, he really did, and it was just such a great game to watch. It's a shame a team had to lose, to be honest, because the way they were both playing at the start, they both deserved something out of it. Unfortunately, that's not the way the game works. Somebody has to come away the victor, and in this situation, it's Portsmouth. And it's almost just an unwritten piece of music there. You can just see it. You've seen UWE C-Stags 3-2 beating them last week. This week, Portsmouth coming back against them, 3-2ing them. You almost just wonder what's going to happen in the next game. It'll probably be a 25-minute overtime and nobody will score.
Yeah, that's what NSE is for you. You never know what's gonna. You expect a team to win, and the other team's like, no, you know what? We're gonna show them how it's worth. And people expected Portsmouth maybe to drop off this season, but they're clearly showing why they're the best team in NSE.
Yeah, definitely. And for the promotion tournament, I think coming up, we're going to be seeing Bath Salts versus Southampton A. And this...
Is that not on another stream?
No, that's our stream. That's the one that we've got. So It's going to be Bath Salts versus Southampton A. And this is going to be an incredible matchup. I can't comment too much on their scores so far. I don't have it open. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I'll just try and see what we've got here. So we've got Bath Salts 3-0 sweeping Icy Trees of Green, 3-1ing Portsmouth Pancakes, and 3-2ing reading your plays, obviously Reading. Southampton A going 2 3-0 sweeps against the boys and Warwick Bubble Bottom something. Unfortunately, not quite able to read the entirety of their name there. Can't quite see it. But Southampton A clearly beating out Rocket Lads for a Bath Salts Southampton A Southern Regionals match. And just before we go to that game, we're going to take a very short break. Please stay with us. It's going to be a great game to see who gets promoted into the National League. Hello everybody and welcome back to NSE Week 4, where we're coming to you with the Southern League promo game, which is Bath Salts versus Southampton A. We've seen some absolutely incredible games on the stream so far, and I am so excited to see how this one goes. I'm joined by Hackabee Death. We have lost Aaron. So Hackabee Death, how are you today?
I'm doing really well, thank you. I've just played my NSE games and I got notified for a caster in need, so of course I came along.
That is absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me. And
No
we are
problem.
going to the game as soon as we can. We are here. And Vex facing off against Rock straight away. Adam G with the backflip. Joel looking to defend the goal early on. We almost see a kickoff goal.
Yeah, I'm not actually in this game.
If you join private match, you should be able to join.
There we go.
And we've got Joel looking to put it across against the corner there. Eddie looking to clear it out. Rock's great touch over. Adam G left defending the goal by himself. Joel looking just to take this out. Opted to allow Adam G for the pass instead. And Eddie looking to play it across the backboard. Joel easily defended, and Craig just looking to tap it up. Not really doing so successfully. Vex missing the ball completely, and Craig also missing. Fortunately, Rock's there to follow up.
Yep. And this is going to be put into the corner and Joel's going to knock it away. But it's going to be straight back in by Cray, and Vex is going to try and knock this one out. But this is going to be put straight into the centre, and Adam going to knock that out of the box.
Yeah, we're seeing Rox put a little bit more pressure on. Great pass into the centre. Cray
Oh!
just putting it over the crossbar. Vex will look for the clear. Joel coming in just beside him, but Eddie managing to put it to the side. Joel and Vex both really tripping each other up there in the corner. Not the greatest to play, and we're going to see Joel popping it centre for Cray. Unfortunately, not his own teammate. Rox facing off against Vex.
Rox putting it into the centre, but Vex, nice backboard defense and good read on that aerial as well. Pushing it forward to Joel, who's going to try and push it up, but straight back to Cray with an open net. But Vex just puts it to the side, and that's probably going to be the breakdown of that attack.
Yeah, and Eddie looking to try and keep the play alive. Not really doing so, but Cray just popping it over Adam G there. Joel trying to pass it down to Adam G. There's really no point there. No boost on Joel. Joel now picking up 100 on the side.
Yep.
Rocks are looking to take it to the side, looking to pass it in, not able to do so. And it really is just a aggression after aggression here from Southampton A. Really not allowing Bath any time to capitalise on any decisions.
Oh yeah, just the amount of pressure being brought out here is absolutely insane. The rotation is looking beautiful so far, and you know these teams are just fighting it out so far, trying to keep the aggression. And I think the winner of this game is actually going to be the first one who scores here, because they're going to have a lot of momentum from that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This really is just a mental game at the moment. We're not really seeing anybody back in defence. Vex trying to get a bump, not managing to do so. Rox putting it in the middle for Cray. Cray not really making much of that opportunity. Vex now going for the air dribble, and as we've been told, he doesn't miss, he only fakes.
This is true. According to chat, that is. I'm not sure how true that is to real life, but that one almost goes in. But Eddie manages to push that one away. Joel is the third man, pushing it back in, and that could have been a goal. But Cray breaking down the attack right there.
Yeah, and Cray at the moment so pivotal on that Southampton defense. Trying to get it clear. As I say that, Cray getting beaten out by Vex. No one on the follow-up from Bath Salts there, and you wonder what the decision was there. Vex looking just to pop it into an open net. Puts it over. It was an open goal. He's not able to put it on target, not able to capitalise. And Bath have wasted what is their best opportunity so far in this game.
Yeah, and as we can see, also Southampton not pushing on that attack. It was only Vex behind, but Vex managed to push it back and keep that attack from building up. And this is going to be a lot of ping pong happening right now, as I like to call it. It's just going to be back and forth between the two teams in the midfield.
Yeah, definitely. Joel trying to put a shot on target. Vex not really following up early enough. Eddie looking to get the 50 on Vex. Vex managing to get that clear out quite nicely. Cray with the whiff. Rox left to defend by himself, and Cray looking just to pop it up back for Rox, who is able to get a shot on, and Vex looking to clear, able to do so. And they will look at really getting rid of this ball, because they are struggling to do a backflip by Cray.
Joel!
Leaves it difficult for Eddie there.
Yeah. And this attack is still going. It's not broken down yet. Joel on the rotation going to come in and try and put this one in. Who's going to be on the end of it? No one. Rock's going to push that one away, but Vex is the third man and going to set up the attack again. So this third man is really influencing the pressure of this attack. So, and there it... Oh! Rox with an insane save there, I would say.
Yeah, and really neither team putting on too much pressure in this game. They're playing very individual football, and just as I say that, the passing plays come through. Vex with a great save into the corner there, just managing to stop it coming through, and it really looked like the Bath were going to go 1-0 down there. Southampton looking like the stronger team in that attack, and it looks like we're going to be going for this first game 0-0 into overtime.
Yeah, and that's certainly what it looks like from here, but Joel's keeping it up. This is going to be pushed away by Eddie. Adam G on the ball. Vox going to push it forward. Vex needs to save this, and he pushes down for the OT.
Yeah, Vex recognising there he has to put the ball down. He cannot let that continue. He knows he's the last man back. And here we're going to see an early chance here for Bath.
Vex!
Rox managing to
save by
backflip, just getting the save there. But Rox is going to struggle here. Unfortunately, Eddie there just to bail him out. Vex looking to keep the pressure alive, looking to keep the attack going. And he's looking for the demos on his way out as well. This is going to be really quite difficult now for Southampton to deal with.
I do like that aggression on the way out from Vex. Demoing on the way out as you're on the way to becoming the third man is probably the most optimal thing to do. Either boost steal or try and get a bump on the way out. And saying that, there's a shot on goal by Eddie.
And that's a great pass down from Joel. Great air dribble. Nobody in the middle really to go and take the pass from it. Adam G here looking to try and get a 50 on Vex, stopping the ball from going into their own half, making sure that pressure is staying on. And this is relentless from Bath Salts.
Yeah, Bath Salt's just keeping up this pressure, this third man, always there to put it back into the attack. But maybe Southampton, hey, are going to have their own chance at an attack now.
And Adam G just managing to get the bump on the Southampton player there. I think it was Cray. Joel looking to go up, passes it over to the side, over to Vex. He probably look at carrying on this play. And Cray and Vex just in a bit of a stalemate there, trying to get the best 50 each other can get. And Joel probably just looking to take this high and over the top of everybody.
Yeah, but Joel was no booster and able to continue that push by himself. And that's just going to be pushed back by Southampton.
Yeah, and Southampton and Bath both really just drawing the same amount of blood here. Both attacking in the same ways, defending in the same ways, midfield plays really similar. And it just doesn't look like either team is taking the opening game. If I could call it, we could be seeing a potential 8-9 minute overtime here, because this is just continuous.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to see Cray push this one up. And no one's there from the rest of Southampton. I wonder why they didn't choose to move on that push. But there's a goal from Joel! And Bath Salts are going to take game one.
And just as we're talking about a potential 9-minute overtime, Vex coming in with a fantastic drop down to Joel there. And that is just an incredible team play. The vision there, the knowledge of Vex to drop it down, knowing Joel's going to be following in. That is unbelievable vision, unbelievable team play. And that is exactly what has separated out these two teams. But one goal in it, and we're really seeing some great plays.
Yeah, and Joel getting the MVP star there for the overtime goal. That really did come in clutch, that assist from Vex, though. The way he saw him, I know I wouldn't have been able to see him like that.
Yeah, I think Vex there just looking to drop it down, hoping one of his teammates is following in. He's probably called in comms, he's dropping it. He knows that's where it needs to be played. He knows that he needs a teammate following up. If he doesn't, they know they're prepared to be counter-attacked. And this is just incredible. We're seeing a total of 9 saves coming out from Southampton. 6 saves coming the way of Bath. Both teams absolutely aggressive on the goal, but only 1 goal separates the two teams. And what do you think, Huckabee? Do you think this is going to be exactly what we're going to see in the next game?
I think it really does depend on the defensive portion of Southampton to actually be able to push the ball out and get some counter-attacks, because it seems like that's what's going to change the flow of the game. You can see that Bath Salts are constantly relentless with their third man, always pushing it back into the box. Then Southampton need to find a way to push the ball out into a place where the third man isn't and start counter-attacking. And if they do that, they could certainly win this game.
Yeah, definitely. And this is just so important for both teams to come out so strong, because that one goal coming 2 minutes into overtime is just so mind-numbing for both teams. It makes the game feel so much longer. If there's a goal in the game, sometimes, you know, the mental pressure doesn't quite get to you as much. You know you've got the capability to score.
But there's a goal from Eddie.
And a misplay there on defense coming through from Bath. Adam not getting that. Joel going up the side post. Might have been able to save it otherwise. Eddie following through. Great pass by Rox. And we're seeing 1-0 15 seconds in. And it's the complete opposite of the last game.
Yeah, I mean, he might have been able to save it, but take nothing away from the finish. Absolutely brilliant finish from that angle as well. That fly was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and it was incredible. And although it's a great goal, I really don't think it's fair to call Bath out. Joel will look for the double, and he gets it, but not quite able to keep it under the crossbar there. Craig, given a lifeline, didn't move. Hoped that it wasn't going in, and it didn't.
Yeah, certainly, and this is going to be pushed out by Eddie now, and Joel's just going to pick this one up, try to find a pass to one of his teammates, does so very well, and this is going to be a big push from Bath, and there it is!
Yeah, and it was only a matter of time. Adam G putting it up to himself, ready to go for it again. He jumps early there, putting it onto the sidewall, not opting for the shot, passing it straight down to Vex. Vex with a great follow-up, but an easy goal. Vex not having to shoot anywhere but the goal itself. It doesn't matter where he puts it, it's always going in.
Yes, that was a very solid 1-2-1 team play there, because that first pass was what started the entire play off by creating that space in the corner with that first pass.
Definitely.
But Trey's there with an open net. Is he going to be able to finish it? No.
Trey there making an absolute mishap with his wave dash. He's looking to come off of the wall, trying to wave dash to beat the defenders, but instead of doing so, ends up tripping himself up, and he's left the goal relatively open. Vex is probably going to look to try and get this. He doesn't manage to. Joel's just going to look to put it on target at this point.
Yeah, Vox is going to push that one to the side quite easily, though. And this is going to be put up for one of his teammates, hopefully Eddie. There it is. And Eddie's going to push that one away and hopefully try and start a counter-attack, but Adam G, again, pushing it back.
Yeah, and Bath's so quick to cut out any counter-attacking opportunities for Southampton. They don't want to let them attack. They don't want to let them aggress. They know what they're capable of. They don't want to see the ball go anywhere near their goal. They are just trying to mount the pressure on. Adam G, again, with a great decision to cut in there. Joel going for the shot. Rox just creeping back, and you wonder why he's done this. This is going to leave a really difficult position for Southampton to be in. Vex coming through 2 demos, and this is the kind of play where you need to be capitalising here. But instead, they've allowed too much time, and the pressure has just been removed there.
Oh, but that was a beautiful bump from Adam G to try and get Joel the goal, but that doesn't go in either. And Eddie's on his own against Joel, and Joel's just going to push that one out to Vex. Great pass back, but a beautiful save by Cray.
Yeah, and we know that Vex can be so lethal on the attack here. You know, him and Joel, some of the link-up plays those two are capable of, they can really score some great goals. But at the moment, no team really pulling off many fantastic passing plays. We do say that, but obviously we've seen Bath with a great passing play so far, but no more have really been attempted this game, and we're going to see it going over the top of Rox. He's not able to get it. Eddie there to bail him out.
Yeah, and this is going to be going up and pushing it away, and hopefully Eddie can try and put something into the centre here. He does for Cray. Cray puts it a bit too high, and Rock's going to try and shoot it, but this is going to be a bit too wobbly in the middle, and Vex going to push that one out.
Yeah, and that was just not great attack from Southampton there. We see an almost risky play coming through from Southampton, almost costing them a goal. Rock's jumping up really early, the shot being so slow, he's not prepared for the speed of it. And we're seeing a great demo coming out from Vex, but not following up on the play. It's just leaving nothing. Just no follow-up from either team here.
Well, nothing at all, and Joel is going to push this one up and away over Cray, but Eddie is behind him as the third man, and Adam G there to pick that one up and put it back into the centre for Vex, and Vex is going to put that one in.
And this is arguably a questionable decision from Vex to go up here, but at the same time ends up panning out. He can see Cray is going to miss it. Cray does. The entirety of the Southampton defence dispersed. They assume Cray is going to clear this. Cray with a massive miss. It's arguably down to Cray this game as to why Bath Salts have taken this as a 2-1 lead. Cray should have had a goal earlier on in the game. He should have had the defence there. He didn't have either, and instead we're seeing 2-1 to Bath.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to see Joel pushing this one into the corner again against Vox. And Vox is going to go over him. And that's going to go to Adam G, hopefully trying to put it into the centre for Vex. But Vex gets caught out, and it's probably going to be the breakdown of the attack right now as Eddie pushes that one out.
I won't speak too soon. Joel trying to make sure that it doesn't die off just yet. Vex popping it straight into the centre, and this is going to be risky. It's a 3-on-1. Joel getting a bit greedy there.
Adam G with a shot. And there it is.
And Adam G with a follow-up. Now, Joel arguably definitely should have passed this left here. Had the open opportunity to do so. Cray with a poor clear straight into the path of Adam G. Eddie not able to get back soon enough. And this is one of Southampton's problems so far. They're leaving one man on defence against 3 Bath players, and you just cannot do that. Yeah,
like you said, Cray with a poor clear straight to Adam G, and it left him completely out of a position. Maybe he pushed up a bit too far for that clear, which allowed the open net. And that's why you'll be seeing Bath probably winning this game.
Yeah, and I think as the clock counts down 3, 2, 1, we're definitely going to be seeing Bath taking this game quite comfortably. Never really looking like they were breaking stride. 2-0 in games, and we could be seeing a Bath sweep for the promotion game.
Yes. What do you think Southampton need to do to get back in this one?
At the moment, I think just looking at the stats in this game, you can see the amount of pressure that Bath is piling on. And 16 shots, 10 saves from Southampton. It's all well and good saving 10 times, but when you're letting 3 in, you need to start pressuring more. Southampton have never really looked strong. They've never really looked like they're trying to challenge. They're giving players like Vex far too much time to do anything with the ball. They've passed the ball to Adam G more times than their own team has passed to Adam G. And you just cannot do that. They're not passing to each other. They're not trying to do any sort of fancy plays at all. There's just no consistency from them. Southampton really, really need to pluck up here, because if they continue to play as they're playing, Bath are going to break them down 9 times out of 10. Southampton have the capability to win. They have the ability to win. And at the moment, they're not showing anybody that. Cray needs to really be more consistent. He's still doing so much, but it's still not enough.
Yeah, and like you're saying, Southampton need to be stronger on their defense. Like you said, they're leaving one man back with a 3-against-1 situation. And Bath Salts always have that third man there to put it back in, which makes it so hard for that one defender. But we might see Southampton scoring here.
Southampton again, they put on so much pressure, but as we've seen now, they've only got 2 men up. Cray has returned so far back that he's just not a part of the play. Great bump coming out there. Adam G trying to take it around the side of Eddie, not able to do so. And Eddie with the speed, and that is something we have not been seeing really from Southampton. And it's what we need to be seeing. But Cray again with a massive whiff.
And we're going to see Vex push this one all the way out. And Vox is the only one left back. Manages to get a touch on it, but that might still be going in. But Cray just manages to push that one away.
Yeah, and Craig really coming in there to bail out his team. The 50 makes it go high, and it almost looks like he's dropping in, but Craig, knowing that, seeing that potential, just coming in, staying on the line, being calm, being collected, and just making sure that ball doesn't go in the back of that net.
Yep. And Eddie with a nice shot on net now, but a bit high. That's going to leave Vox, put it back into the centre for Cray, and Cray scores!
And this was what we were saying at the start of the game. You asked, what does Southampton need to do to get back in this? And this is exactly it. We said they needed to aggress more. They couldn't allow Bath to just take the play, just take all of the pressure. They needed to give it back as much as they were getting. And straight away, that is exactly what we see. Just over a minute in, and Southampton, for I think what might be the first time this series, take the lead.
Yeah. And I think you were exactly right. If we see Southampton play how Bath were playing the first 2 games, with that third man always putting the ball back into the box, consistent pressure, we're going to see Southampton winning this game.
And we see Cray there with a great attempt at a redirect. Eddie, with a questionable decision to 50 there, probably should have tried taking it off into the corner instead. Doesn't opt to do so. Craig here, left trying to fight it out. Vex putting it high, knowing full well nobody's on that backboard. Adam G's in early, and he's not able to squeeze it in the goal there. Just hitting the side post, and it is left now to Craig to try and take it back to the other half, trying to get that counter-attack on. Vex challenging Rocks, making sure that ball doesn't go anywhere near their goal. And if anything, this game, Bath really looked like they might be struggling.
Yeah, Southampton do look like they've stepped up the aggression a notch, and this is going to be Rocks on net, and there it is.
Yeah, and we were just saying there, the amount of pressure that was being put on Bath was making them look uncomfortable. Joel driving around in circles, he does not know what to do. Doesn't even attempt any kind of squishy save there, doesn't attempt trying to go off the ceiling. He knows he is pretty much beaten in that situation, and as it stands, 2-0 to Southampton, and they're just looking like the stronger team.
Yeah, it looks like both of these teams are very, very strong when they're aggressing, and saying that, there's another goal for Southampton.
Yeah, and this is it. Southampton piling on the pressure, piling on the speed. They're so fast. Craig arguably should not be up there, because if that doesn't go in, that is a guaranteed counter-attack goal. That's an arguably questionable decision there by Craig. Doesn't matter though. The play coming over, they're just being so fast this game, and it is just, I think it's even taken Bath by surprise. Bath just are not ready. Craig coming in there, just showing more examples of their speed, coming in with that great 50, stopping any kind.
Yeah. I actually think the winners of this series are going to be the ones who defend the best, because it looks like both of these teams are so solid on the offensive, consistent pressure, consistent speed. It's going to be the one that pulls out the best defensive stops.
And we are seeing Southampton continuing to try and take it up. Not able to do so. Adam G looking just to pop it. Probably try to look to put it middle. Doesn't manage to. Joel gets bumped on the return as well. Unfortunately, Vex is managing to clear it. Otherwise, they could have really been struggling there.
Oh, yes, certainly. And Craig's going to push this one up to himself, but doesn't get a nice second touch on it, and that's going to be Vex pushing that one away.
And Vex with a great hit downfield. Joel not quite bumping it into the place where he would like to. Adam G looking to get a touch on to goal there, not able to do so, not really causing any sort of damaging play there, and this is where we're going to see a drop down coming from Joel, not able to get it on target, and
that's still in from Adam G.
That is an absolutely fantastic shot there from Adam G, slipping it just inside that left hand post, and it is beautiful, absolutely unsavable there. Rock's left flat-footed in the goal, nothing he can do. We're seeing 3-1, 1 minute 26 seconds left, and they have the opportunity to win.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's another goal for Bath Salts right off the kickoff. They could certainly be bringing this one back.
Yeah, and as we just spoke about it, 1 minute 26 is enough time to score 2 goals. 1 minute 22 is more than enough time for this Bath team to score a goal. We saw it 3-0 only 5 seconds ago, and now Southampton are looking again like they might start to struggle.
Yes, certainly. But from that first goal, don't take anything away from the first attempt at goal, because that demolition was what screwed up the rotation on the side of Southampton. So that first demolition on the side of Bath Salts, that really helped Adam score that goal.
Yeah, really, really did. And we're seeing Rox here trying to keep on that pressure. He's trying to make sure they can score this 4th goal just to stop Bath pulling off any potential counter-attack. But it's going to be so difficult. Joel with a great pass in. Vex trying to get a 50. Rox seeing Vex up, popping it left, and Joel here could make a pivotal play. Doesn't quite manage to. Vex just looking to put it back onto the backboard. Trying to keep that pressure alive. Really trying to keep that dream alive with just that 3-0 sweep. Just to make it an easy entrance back into the National League.
Yep, and we're going to have Craig pushing this one up. But it looks like it's just wide of the goal, and Joel pushes that one wide just to make sure. And Eddie's going to pick this one up as the 3rd man and going to put this into the corner. Adam G misses that massive whiff, but Eddie's going to whiff that one as well. But with 10 seconds left to go, it looks like Southampton are going to be picking up this win.
Yeah, and it's just so unfortunate. Ball dropping to the ground. Southampton pulling out a victory. They played that first half of that game so strong, so well. They looked the better team. But in that final half, you could almost see the cracks appearing. You could see that they were looking like they started to struggle a little bit more, but fortunately managing to hold off a relentless Bath attack at the end there, making the game 2-1 in the series so far. Bath just managing to keep alive. They need to take this last game. Do we think they can do it though? That's the question. Do we really think they're going to be able to?
If Southampton keep up the aggression they had at the start of this last game, they certainly will be able to make this comeback, and it will be a reverse sweep if they do so.
Yeah, I think the reverse sweep, it's always a potential for a team, but Southampton, they looked so strong in the first half, and I think if they'd looked that strong for the entirety of the game, maybe a reverse sweep would be possible. But at the end there, we saw them start to falter, and it just makes me worried for how they're going to start this fourth game right here. Are they going to start strong, or are Bath going to come out straight from the gates and just smash them?
Yeah, and we're jumping into this game right now, and it looks like we're about to find out. So we're going to have Eddie and Joel on this kickoff to start this game.
Yeah, and a great stop there. And this is what we mean by we could be seeing them start early, and they are. And not the greatest of flicks, but able to put it to centre. Nobody following up. Vex have gone far too high there. And we're seeing a dangerous put into the middle. Cray looking to try and get it on target, not able to do so. Adam just flicking it up. And Joel will look to try and clear this here. He does not want to keep this in his area any longer. Rock's not allowing him to do so. And as it stands, Southampton coming out of the gates with as much pressure as they started last game.
Yeah, and it looks like now Rock's going to try and push this one away. Vex again back into Cray, and Eddie's going to try and push this one up into the wall, but gets demoed. Two people are on the side of Southampton demoed. This is going to be down for Joel, but brilliant save by Cray.
Yeah, and that's a great save. A double commit leading to what is arguably one of the most important saves that they're going to make this series. And it really has just stopped the defence there. Everybody whiffing here. Rock's whiffing, Adam whiffing, and nobody is able to put that in. And you almost start to question what is going on.
Yeah, and that's going to be a shot on goal from Joel, and that's going to go straight in.
Yeah, 1 minute 13 seconds in, and we see the first goal coming away of Joel. No team play needed there. It says Vex got the assist. Did he really? He didn't really do too much in that play. He really just caused the aggression onto the opposition team. The opposition team not getting the greatest defensive clear, passing it straight out to Joel. Joel putting a relatively simple shot on target. Cray, unfortunately, not with a boost to keep it out. We're seeing 1-0 go the way of Bath Salts.
Yeah, and obviously Southampton gonna need to keep up a positive, aggressive mentality to get back into this one.
Yeah, they really are. Bath, always relentless, always looking, always searching for a goal. Great flick into the middle there from Vex. Vex just looking to take the corner boost, not really making too much of the play. And a great pass centre to Adam G. Adam G off the side. Joel maybe committing too early there. Vex had the perfect opportunity to score a goal. Joel already up, getting a little bit too greedy there. Should have just left that to Vex. Could have been a potentially easy goal, but instead we're stuck at 1-0, 3 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, and Vex is going to put this one down into the corner for Eddie to put away. But Vex with a nice touch, but it's going to be straight down into Cray. And that's going to be Adam G putting it into the corner, with Joel probably going to push this one away.
Yeah, and Joel more than happy just to take it past one of the attackers. We could see Vex going for a pass infield to Joel infield to Vex. Vex onto the backboard, goes for a flip reset. Misses, unfortunately. Maybe the better decision there from Vex is just to put it onto the backboard. He's got two of his teammates in the play, looking for the pass, seeking that opportunity to get a 2-0 lead, but instead Vex tries to go for the flip reset, tries to go for a monster play, and doesn't quite manage it.
And remember, you can still sign up for those monster plays for NSE. I'm sure Cineris would want me to say it.
Yeah, and I think these teams are definitely looking for some. We've seen Vex go for some, we've seen Joel go for some, and as of yet, we've seen no monster.
And we're going to see Eddie push this one away. Vex going to push this one off to the side, but Frey's got the opportunity to push this one in the middle now. Whiffs it, and that's going to be Joel trying to push it away, but he whiffs as well, and that's going to be out to Vex, who's probably going to just push this one away.
And we saw a very rare triple commit coming across earlier in the play from Southampton, and it was a massive triple commit. It's really not the kind of thing you expect to see in a promotion tournament, and they really cannot afford to keep playing like this. They need to start making more opportunities. As I say that, Rox taking the ball, stealing it from, I think it was Eddie here, more than happy to just stop Eddie from playing. Rox popping it onto the sidewall, back into the centre. All three Bath defenders there, all in the same position, and this is the kind of triple commit that just causes goals to be scored.
Yeah, that Vox goal was actually really smart, because that first pop put it over the last defender and then gave him the open net to score. So that was actually a very impressive goal by Vox, and it's going to be Adam G putting this one into the corner to just push away.
Yeah, Adam G putting it into the corner. Vex obviously trying to clear it, not really getting a great clear. Rox kind of left a bit flat-footed. He doesn't look like he's really going to be able to make much of it. Joel not able to make any sort of play going on there, and he is so unfortunate. He really should be doing better there, and just not able to. Joel trying to pop it down, nobody there unfortunately. Adam G not quite ready for a pass coming through that early.
Yeah.
And just relentless pressure from Bath is just getting them nowhere at the moment.
Yeah, my goodness. And it's going to be Vex pushing this one out, and it's going to be Eddie trying to push it back in. Ooh, almost a nice aerial dunk there, but Joel managing to cut that one out. But the aggression is still coming out, and Craig's going to push that one in.
Yeah, and this is a huge mistake on defense right here. Vex popping it down, arguably not the worst play, but Rox there following it up, seeing that he's going to be putting it down, and a miss from both of the Bath players there is what has led to that goal. It should not be 2-1 at the moment, but it is, and we could be seeing a Game 5 in what we thought could have been a sweep at the start.
Oh yes, certainly. And we're going to see Rox trying to push this one back in, but Joel's going to push that one away. Vex pushing this up, hopefully for a last-minute counter-attack. Adam G pops it up to Vex. Vex doesn't get the touch on it. Eddie does with a bit of speed, and Rox is going to push that one down. And that's Joel keeping it alive. This could be a 0-second goal, but Craig going to push that one down. Vex almost a bit too high, keeping it up, but Craig's just going to let it drop.
And
for the 2-2.
Is going to be so disappointed. He had the opportunity to make that a draw in that game, and that could have been so important for them, but instead we're seeing it go to 2-2 in the series, and this is such a shock at the moment. Bath were playing so well at the start, so dominant, so much pressure coming through from them, and now it just looks like it really could all fall apart from them. Bath not looking the stronger team in the last two games, and it is really going to show some defensive mistakes we do not expect to see from the top teams, and it's just shocking.
Yeah, but like we said earlier, if Southampton keeps this aggression that Bath had the first two games, they could certainly make a reverse sweep, and this is what we're seeing right now. Southampton playing aggressive, playing their style, and when they're not defending, Southampton seem to be putting more chances away.
Yeah, definitely. And I really think we could potentially be seeing an upset for Bath here. Southampton, if they continue the pressure they've put on in that last game, we're really going to see quite a hotly contested Game 5. And it would be great to see at least one monster play coming through from these teams. They've done so well. They've deserved so much. And whoever goes through has 100% wholly deserved it.
Just so used to pressing that auto button. But here we go. It's going to be Vex coming out, and Craig's going to pick that one up. Joel going to put that one away. Eddie going to...
Joel with a bit of a misplay with each other there. He's going to leave Joel quite difficult on the return, but Eddie just wasting that opportunity. Had an absolutely perfect chance to really go 1-0 up so early in the series, but instead wastes it, just hits it upfield. And he could have done so much more there.
Kelsync, just to let you know, the chat's saying you're a little bit quiet, so if you could turn yourself up a bit, I'm sure the lovely audience would love to hear your amazing commentary. but Adam G gonna put that one off to the side. He's gonna take that one up the wall, nice little air dribble, and that's gonna be down, but it's gonna be pushed away by Eddie, and that's gonna be the breakdown of that attack, and here's a counter attack starting.
Yeah, and Joel happy just to play that off to the side there. Adam G just looking to play it back into the corner. It's hitting Joel. I'm not entirely sure that was intentional, but it is a potentially great team play. Vex with the recovery, popping it straight back up. Adam looking to try and challenge Rocks, not able to do so. Joel looking to just pop it onto the backboard. Nobody really on the follow-up, but Crane missing the ball is going wide, and Eddie will look to try and take advantage of this and 50 it.
Yeah, Vex with a high and wide shot on net, but it's dropping to Joel, and Joel's going to put this one back into the center. Vex looking for a redirect from behind the ball.
Yeah, and that was almost an incredible play. But alas, we see Barth trying to take it out. Vex with a great tap just around the side of Eddie. A great midfield pass, but Cray decides to turn away. It almost looks like he's going for a boost pad. Doesn't quite manage to involve himself in the play too much until now, but Joel able to take it away from him. Gets the touch with the floor just to try and take it into control. Great use of his power slide there just to maintain momentum, just to make sure he's not out of the play for too long. And Adam with an almost great dunk. Vex popping it straight back up, hoping one of his teammates is there. And Cray not able to make any contact, and none of the Bath team there. And this could be risky for Vex coming along just to make that challenge there.
Yeah, and Joel going to push this one out. Cray almost catches him out, but Joel going to push this one forward again. That was up against their own backboard. Rocks using his own back wall to try and push that one away, and that's going to fall to Joel. Joel going to try and restart the attack, but Rocks is going to push this one forward, and it's going to fall to Adam G. Frey with an open net, but Adam G gets there really quickly.
Yeah, and that was a very slow shot coming out there from Southampton, but we need to take note of what Joel did earlier. He did not need to try and take that solo. He had a man to his left, he had a man to his right, and both times he chose not to opt for the pass and instead opting for the shot. Vex going for the shot, and it is weak. He's not going to be happy with a shot like that. He knows he can perform better. He knows he can shoot stronger, and he knows he should be scoring from opportunities like that.
Yeah. Neither team wants to give up this crucial game 5, which decides the winner of this. It's an open net, surely, and there it is from Joel.
And that is just such a weak shot, but nonetheless a great team play. Joel baiting out Craig, going for the slow shot. Eddie getting caught on the wall, tries to jump, and if it just stayed on all fours there, driven into the goal, he would have had an easy save, not able to do so. And we see a singular goal 2 minutes into the game. Adam G trying to follow up Vex's shot onto the backboard, not able to do so. Defense from Southampton coming out strong there and coming out the better.
Yeah, and Southampton are going to really need to put on this aggression now. I mean, if it takes 3 minutes to get 1 goal for Bath Salts, there's only 2 minutes left for Southampton to get one.
Yeah, and Bath are really trying to hold off Southampton. They do not want them aggressing on their goal at all. And we're going to be seeing that. We're going to be seeing a lot more speed, I think, coming out from Bath in the very, very near few minutes and few seconds that are left in this game. And a massive misplay on the defence there by Rocks leaves Adam G easy for the goal, just to score into the bottom left. And it almost leaves you to wonder now, do Southampton have enough time to pull back this deficit?
I mean, I certainly have seen this sort of catch-up done before. I think even a minute would be possible. But with the way that Bath Salts have been playing this game, it doesn't seem that likely.
Yeah, it really doesn't, and you don't like to see it, unfortunately. In this particular instance, it's just not great, and another error from Eddie getting caught on the sidewall again, and it's happened twice in one game, and you cannot afford to make mistakes like this at this level. Again, we see him on the sidewall. Again, we see him making those mistakes, and it is just so unfortunate. He deserves so much more. He's been playing so well in this series so far, and to have it all come down to 2 of those mistakes is just so unfortunate for him.
This is it now. Southampton need to stay on the aggressor for this entire last minute, and if they don't, you know Bath are going to try and stall this out as much as humanly possible.
Now, Bath are notorious for being a team that don't actually like to stall. They like to aggress. They like to keep scoring goals. They don't like to just leave it as it is. They know that pressure really damages the team. But in doing so, they've left themselves on the counter-attack. Vex coming in with a great save, but nobody really in goal there.
And there it is!
With the follow.
This is... it seems unlikely, but it could potentially happen here.
And I just started saying about it. You mentioned how you thought Bath might try and take it defensively. I've seen them play before. I know how aggressive they like to be. They don't like to just start winning and hold a defense. They like to try and keep going for goals. And in doing so, they've caused themselves a 2-goal deficit where it should have been a 3 for Southampton. And now Southampton are back in with the chance. Only 20 seconds left. They're going to have to push with everything they've got if they want to win this game. And a backflip from Eddie on the defense is pretty much going to seal this fate for Southampton.
Yes.
No speed on the counter-attack. 10 seconds left, and we're going to be seeing our promotion team being Bath Salts. Thoroughly deserved. Southampton putting in every effort they could, but just not enough to win.
Yeah, and it was certainly very, very close. One thing I did notice at the end, you said that Bath Salts don't like stalling very aggressive team as we've seen today, but I did see Joel take a lovely first touch of the ball to slow it down earlier, but that's going to be Bath winning the series 3-2. Southampton almost with the reverse sweep, but that's going to be the end of that.
Yeah, it really is. And it was a great set of matches, but unfortunately for Southampton, Bath Salts are the victors this time, and it was an incredible game.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, who do you think was the man of the match here today, Kilsink?
I think it's definitely hard to give a man of the match. I never like doing it. Rocket League is just such a good team game, but I think if we've got to give man of the match to a singular player there, I think I've got to give it probably to either Joel or Vex, just because of that sheer pressure that they were putting on that defense. Vex coming in with some absolutely pivotal saves for Bath, and it was just incredible. As for Southampton, Eddie played such a great game up until that final match where just a few mistakes really cost him. The 2 mistakes from him and the 2-goal difference was all that was needed in the end. It's just such a shame.
Yeah, like my heart was racing that entire set, to be honest. That entire final game was such a rush to watch.
Yeah, and it was really just incredible to see. And in the Northern Regionals, the promotion decider goes the way of University of, I think, Brighton. It's UOB. I'm not sure if that's Birmingham, Brighton, or what it is anymore. They're all UOB to me. Sorry, guys. Just smile. Beating Durham Defenders 3-1 in what was probably an amazing game. We know we had an amazing game here. Bath Salts beating out Southampton 3-2, coming down to the deciding game. And it was just such a pleasure going into all of those games.
Yeah.
And seeing these teams, the improvements they're making is just absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, certainly. And I mean, this was certainly an amazing set to watch. It was a great pleasure to cast with you, Kilsink.
Yeah, absolute pleasure to cast with you too. Absolutely incredible. And just to point to the Week 4 standings for the National League, we've got Portsmouth Paladins on 20 points, back-to-back 10 points, Lancers A on 15, Nottingham Trent on 13, BCU Blue 12, UWE Sea Stags on 10, Why Do I Show Up to Fractal Geometry? Nobody knows, you really shouldn't, on 10, Rude. Sussex Hammerheads on 10 as well, Loughborough Lions 9, Brighton Babes 8, Salford Lions 8, KPA 6, 3 Trebles 6, Hertfordshire White 2, Sheffield Saints 2, Bath Salts and UOB Just Smile both on 0. The 2 teams knocked out this season, Rocketeers and Bournemouth Storm. Rocketeers on 7 points. If they make their way back into National League, they really have the opportunity, every opportunity, to still make that Championship League.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in today. It has been a pleasure. I'm Killsink. I've got beside me Hackaby Death.
Thanks, guys.
And thank you very much. Hopefully you'll tune in next week where we will see NSE Week 5 and we will see Bath Salts in the National. Thank you very much and goodbye.
Goodbye.